Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another podcast. Today we have none other than Run the Foot Market, Nick, if you guys know him by short. One of the dudes who's just a beast with the market. Him, L Dog, Golden Bear, lot of cool transfer market guys. I wanted to get his 2 cents in terms of how he sees FIFA, because my vision and my way of seeing FIFA is more in the negative sense, knowing that the game could be better. But I know that a lot of people may disagree with that opinion and they may want to see it differently. So it'd be really cool to see someone else's point of view in terms of them using the market. I'm definitely going to get people like L Dog, Golden Bear, Wise on here, so that I can get different perspectives from all the market guys, the gameplay guys, different pros. So be sure to look forward to that in terms of the future. But right now, my homie Nick, how you doing today, brother?
What's good, brother? Thank you for having me. It has been honestly, dude, a year or so since I have done a podcast, and I love doing them. So.
I think you did one once with like those actual Foothead, or the not Foothead, like one of those actual podcast
yeah, I did
guys,
one
right?
with Foot Weekly a while back.
Yes, that's the one. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, the way that the podcasts work is basically you're gonna take over. People really like to hear everybody else's explanations. People already know my train of thought when it comes to FIFA. They know what I feel like, how I feel in regards to gameplay content, gameplay. Not necessarily why I don't use the transfer market again. That's why I wanted to get a transfer market guy on here to give my 2 cents in regards to that. But yeah, man, whatever is on your mind, just speak it.
All right, well, let's see. We could probably start with let's think about regarding the market. So,
okay.
I would say that this year, as a starting talking point, because I've been trading since FIFA 12. I would go on the record to confidently say I got very good at trading last year. And last year, I did some crazy stuff with my trading where I lost a lot. That made me even better for this year. Like, I moved from Xbox last year. I finished look, transfer profit is different than how many coins you make, but it's still all relative at some way or another. If you guys who are listening don't know, transfer profit is your total value that you bring in coin wise without the tax. So your coins are obviously going to be different because there's a 5% tax on everything you buy and you sell in this game. So your transfer profit is more of an inflated number. So if you trade with higher cards like icons and things like that, you will have a naturally higher transfer profit, even though you're making less coins because of the tax. You understand what I'm saying, kind of?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing.
So that's a thing.
Yeah.
So I say that, look, I finished number 2 on Xbox last year for transfer profit, 110 million. Didn't spend a dime on the game. But I had 30 to 40 million coins, which is still at the top. It was probably the top road to glory with Xbox. So it's different. So what I did was I moved to PlayStation this year. I tried a lot of stuff last year as I was progressing up in the community content-wise, and myself just as a trader off stream and all that. So I've come now onto this PS4 market, which is way different than Xbox. When there is panic on the market for a promo, the market is crazy. Like, the amount of listings that will come up because everyone's scared goes crazy. So I've learned a lot coming from that to here. I think the one thing I wanted to start with and talk to you about, man, is, and for the people that are listening, is that this year has been the first year that I've seen EA know what they're doing with the market. They are full on controlling the market this year. They're using promos. They're using certain things adding into the game, SBCs, to upping pack weight or something like that to inflate the market or not inflate the market. And it's the first time I've ever seen them, and they've done a really good job, man. They've been controlling this thing all year, dude. Like, they made everybody, including myself. When I'm sure when you were playing, I mean, you said you've been chilling. You haven't been playing much recently, right?
Yes.
But I'm assuming you were probably playing until like November, maybe?
Yes.
December-ish?
Like, I was I would say first 2-3 weeks. That's what I was playing consistently, and then I kind of dropped off after that.
So you started to see how expensive players were getting, right?
Yes.
So everybody, including myself, was under this assumption that, okay, this is just going to be back to FIFA 15 when there was coin selling. They don't care. It's going up and away. And now look where we are, right? Like, we've had this Team of the Year promo, and they've done an amazing job of whatever it is, boosting pack weight, bringing out the right SBCs, bringing panic onto the market. They've literally corrected the market right to where they want it to be. So it shows you that at the end of the day, I'm seeing, and I've heard through the grapevine, I'll tell you guys this in the podcast that maybe not a lot of people know. There's a full team of economists. There's people that are working now.
There's
with
a full
EAs.
team of economic dudes. They told me that
Yes.
like 2 or 3 years ago that they were going to work on the market more.
So
because
they
want
have
to
that
actually
now.
actual team.
Yeah, they full on have that. So they have a person apparently who is dictating what they want to do to the market. So when the top dog at the company says, hey, we want to do this on Ultimate Team, or the top dog at Ultimate Team, we want to do this on Ultimate Team, how is this going to impact the market? Or we want the market to go this way. They figure out or try to figure out. That's why you see sometimes you and me will tweet out an SBC and be like, what? What is this price? Because it happens. They mess it up. It's impossible to get everything right because you don't always know the full demand of the community or what people are going to want and not want. So that's why sometimes you'll see an SBC that's really overpowered being like only 80K and you're like, why is that so cheap? And then you have an SBC that's bailed that's 1.7 million and everyone's like, oh my God, because it's just so hard for them to kind of find the middle ground. But it's obvious to me that this has been the first year as a trader that I've actually been caught on the wrong side of it, dude. Like, and they've done a really good job as well, man, because I used to, there's player of the month every month and stuff like that, man. This year, man, have not made a dime off an SBC. Like, you know how you can invest for that?
Yes.
I have been making my coins this year off trading and market trends, like knowing when there's going to be coins out of the market, knowing when there's buyers. This year, man, it has been near impossible to make coins off SBCs unless you're doing, the 83, 84 thing for the Team League SBCs. And even that, they haven't been flying. It's been really, really crazy to see because I used to make a lot off player of the month, man. And I have not. I mean, I've had 4 months now where I haven't made much. And I'm literally just coming off a big loss off of a player of the month gig trying to invest. So, I mean, this has really been the year of trading and it's been the year of like the company having full market control. It's crazy. It's crazy obvious to me too, which has been the nuts part about it.
So most of your profit from the game has been coming from strictly just the transfer market. You haven't been making any profit from or any profit whatsoever from the SBCs whenever they drop one.
No, this year I have not.
Yeah, because last year that was like the biggest exploit, right? Was when they dropped an SBC and people like made a lot of money off that. I'm like, people used to tell me all the time, like, yo, I just made like 600K off the SBC. I'm like, how the hell did you make 600K? You won't even get 600K in a year from gameplay content. How do you get that through one SBC? And no, that's definitely very interesting. No, but they definitely do have an economics team nowadays for sure, working on the game in terms of understanding where they want the market to be. And again, I love your point of view on this, and I'm definitely gonna get everybody else's point of view on this. But like you said, you like the way the market is because they actually are controlling it well, like you said.
Yeah.
Now, my thing with this game right now, right, is that I think, and I always tell this to people, right, is that I think there's a huge misbalance in terms of gameplay content and through transfer market content, right? Because when you play the game, you're not really playing the game for a reason or a purpose because the rewards are just not good enough in terms of what you're playing them for, right? So, for instance, players nowadays are very expensive. Do you know who FUTception is?
No.
So FUTception is a streamer, a European streamer, right? I think he might be German or something, right? And he's a very, very good player. This guy plays FIFA religiously. He plays lots of games, right? Even last year when I didn't even play that much either, it was the same thing, right? Through gameplay content, you were able to afford really good players if you really grinded the game a lot and consistently did well. I feel like nowadays with the game, because the transfer market is so expensive, right? The gameplay content with the way that the transfer market is set up is not balanced together in terms of the play time that you put in through gameplay content and then how the transfer market is. Because, for instance, this guy has already played a bunch of games, right, Nick? This guy's played a bunch. He's a really good player, gets consistent results in the weekend league, and he only has, I think, a team of the year Messi and Ronaldo. And for a lot of people, they're going to be like, "Holy crap, those are two really good players." But if we're talking about the same guy here with less games, he already had a way better team because of the gameplay content. The amount of coins that you would get in return for it would be really good. Another thing that I've been mentioning to people a lot, right, is that some people tell me that division rival rewards through gameplay content has been better than it was in divisions back in the day. And being a gameplay guy myself that used to grind divisions all the time, I completely disagree with the notion because I feel like personally back in the day when I used to play this game consistently every day, if I put in 10 hours of FIFA every day, I would be making 60, 70K a day just through gameplay. And I would be using different teams 2, 3, 4 different squads and be making consistent coins every single day. But nowadays, in division rivals, for instance, if you're in Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, it doesn't really feel like it's worth it because, one, you're facing and get quote-unquote harder opposition because you don't know if it's harder opposition yet because this finesse shot meta is brainless, right? But once that's gone and you're actually facing people who are using football IQ to beat you and stuff, right? When you get to that level and you're only facing really good players the entire time, the balance between only facing really good players and the rewards that you get for it is completely trash in my opinion, right? Because divisions back in the day, if you played in Division 1, the way the matchmaking would work is that it's Division 3, 2, 1, right? So when you're playing against those people, you know, there's times where you can use a different team and the guy that's going to be facing off against you is not going to be having like a full icon team or team of the year because, Nick, you're probably in Division 2 or 3, 2, 3, 1, one of those ones, right? And like you obviously have a very good team, but the teams that you come across, 80% of them are God squads, right? And it's the typical God squads, the Pogbas, the Contes, the Neymars, the Ronaldos, right? But for instance, like with me nowadays, the team that I have is nowhere near good enough for the higher tier divisions. Can I do well on it? Sure. But I can't use another team from that. So the fun concept is taken away, and the amount of money that you earn through division rivals is also taken away because you're not getting consistent coins every single day. You have to wait a full week to decide between, right now, the coin reward for Division 2 might be, correct me if I'm wrong, but it might be like 75k for rank 1, right? 75k is not enough for waiting a full week of FIFA. Then you have the secondary option that is the tradable packs. If you get the tradable packs, there's a chance you're not going to get anything. I get those packs in draft and get nothing in them. I'll get a 100k pack in a draft and I won't get a single board in it. I won't even get a board. I'll just get 82 rated cards the whole time. So I feel like, or not even the 100ks, but the 50ks and the mega packs. Because the mega packs for me personally is usually where you actually get good cards. But for me, this is why I wanted your point of view. And it's interesting to see that you're saying that the market is in a good place. But I feel like from a gameplay point of view, gameplay perspective in terms of earning rewards that way, I feel like the misbalance is huge in comparison to only working on the market, which is why I think market content nowadays is blown up because people make way more money doing that than actually playing the game itself.
Yeah. I agree with what you're saying. Like, this game is very pay to play as well, which is another point to bring up. Like, I think there would be a lot less complaining if we didn't have to deal with the whole, buying contracts, buying fitness, especially squad fitnesses on weekdays when they're like 1,500 coins, and to get rank 1 in rivals, you got to win like 30 to 40 games in tougher divisions. So that's what you're going to pay 50k for, and unless you take the coins, you're going to lose coins most likely if you take the packs. So you're literally just draining your numbers every day by playing.
Yeah.
I would argue that this year's reward set are actually the easiest to obtain to get a good reward out of any FIFA I've ever seen before. So I'll give you an example. And I agree with what you're saying, and I'm going to talk about what you just said in specific as well. The fact that you can get gold 3 in the weekend league, right? 14 wins. That's all you got to get. And get those player picks with no limit on the rating, a 50k pack, right? And whatever else you get with it. You get 30k coins or something.
Yeah.
And then it's just not even that. Like, you're guaranteed usually just if you play 20 games, right? You don't rage quit, so you go 14-6. I'm pretty sure you get rank 3 in rivals. So that's where it's rewarding for me in a way. If you don't play rivals in the week, you're actually getting kind of double rewards for the weekend league because there are some weeks where I just can't play rivals and I just get that rewards from rivals. And I'm like, oh, sweet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to the people that grind the game, it's not, hell no, it's not worth it, dude. It's very backwards and it's sad because my skill rating's like 2350 to 2450. So everybody I play in rivals has Hullet, Vieira, and I have a good team and I'm a good player, but it's the most pay to win FIFA ever. And I actually because I've adapted to the mechanic of the game, and God, I don't love it. But now that I've gotten good at it and I've gotten a feel in this game, when gameplay is good, I like this game. I don't have a problem with it. When the servers are fine, not gameplay is good. Sorry. The consistent, you know what I'm saying? Connection.
The feeling of the game.
When it's clean, I had fun. Like this weekend, 20 games, I had good gameplay and I really just had fun. I was using Neymar, some of the better players in the game, obviously, so it was more fun. It's the most pay to win FIFA ever. By far. When I played against the team with Hullet and Vieira last night, both prime in the midfield, they have like gravitational things around them. I literally could not even pass them.
It's very
hard.
hard.
I'm using like, Ballack, Lothar Matthijs, and the dude wasn't even at like, really, he was probably worse than me if we had equal teams. It's so hard sometimes to get past those players this year. And what you said as well, man, about the lower tier teams, it's really, really, really crazy, man. It's way out of touch with that. And I agree with you regarding the market. Yes, the market's in a good space for how they're controlling it, and I think they're doing a good job. Now, if we were sitting here and the market didn't go down in the last 2 weeks, I would say we're in a problem because the market would have literally just been going up since September. It's actually corrected itself a lot in the last 2 weeks. It's gone back down a good amount, and I'm sure that a lot of people hearing this will see that their icon that they wanted, that they thought was way too high, is way decreased in price. R9's gone from like 10 to 6.5 mil the prime. I just bought a Pele today, the prime, for like 4 or 5, and last week he was 7 mil. So a lot of them are a lot lower, some of the top tier cards. The top 100 rewards, man, are awful, man. I last 3 weeks, man, I finished on 26, 26, and 28. And that's not top 100, but my gold 3, gold 2 rewards have been better than all 3 of those weeks. The only thing good about the elites, I don't play for awards because, to be frank with you, man, I have coins on this game. I just play to because I like FIFA,
right,
and I like playing competitive, and I'm addicted to FIFA. I have not made anything. The only thing that's been good about finishing elite is that, I get an extra 100K a week from rewards to go trade around with or put into a team or whatever it is. It needs to be more, man. Top 100s, if the market's going to be like this, the guys who finish top 100 need to be getting like 500K guaranteed a week. And
yeah,
then,
no, that's a fact. Yeah.
Because the ultimate pack, look, right now with these team of the weeks and how it's under 81, you're looking at like an average per week of about 250 to 200 on an ultimate pack, team of the week pack.
Yeah.
So those guys should be getting 750K a week if they're getting 30 and O's and 29 and 1s. That's just only fair. But like you said, man, you really can't upgrade your team. And the Rivals rewards, it's like a candy on a lure, dude. I agree with you as well, man, because I used to win D1 last year, right? And you got 15K.
Yeah.
And it would take me maybe 9 games to win D1. And like, if you're not even playing Weekend League, dude, it's a mess because it's way different as well. The kinds of opponents you're playing because of the whole skill rating this year and the way it's going in all these teams, it's like you're playing, for me at least, last year, my opponents in Division 1 because of the matchmaking from D1 to D3, just the generality of it. The opponents were not nearly as consistent as they are right now. Every game I go into, right, the server is way different than the Weekend League. So the gameplay feels completely off. I can't even play the game in Rivals. And then you're playing against just an absolute sweat lord, who I guess in Rivals during the week. At this point, I'm not playing Rivals in the week, and I want to grind it. And I was like, yo, I'm going to grind. I'm going to go get this 2,600. I'm feeling good at FIFA. And right when I got up to like 23 in this 2350 range, dude, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to throw up. Like, don't want to play it anymore. So I've got the luxury of the market is kind of soothing, I guess, if you would say. Trading is like soothing, and it's nice to just sit around the menus. But I don't ignore the fact that like I really like FIFA, man, and I play the game a lot and I'm good at it. And there's a lot to it that does piss me off. You've talked about this as well, because I know you were saying like just talk about things you want to on this. Mm-hmm. You like the low driven meta more than the finesse, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm, yes, absolutely.
So I like this finesse meta, but I don't like I like some of the goals like where you would, you have a nice build up and you're passing well, and you have, say Neymar's running on the corner of the box and he's facing the goal and you hit a green time finesse and it goes in on the first time. I like that concept. Like that to me is cool. And it's realistic. Now, this 360 no scope stuff where you're almost like you're like Steph Curry and you're running an ISO play. And I mean, I'm literally doing this in the Weekend League, dude, because I'm abusing the meta because it's how you win games this year.
You have to.
I'm going 28-2 because I'm using Ballack and Kevin De Bruyne, and I'm running a play almost like I'm a basketball coach, and I'm waiting for my left wing and my right wing to make certain check-ins and runs and do circles and fake until they get the run in, and I'm hitting a first-time finesse, or I'm doing enough circles to hit a finesse. I found myself yesterday, I was laughing on my stream, dude. So I didn't play Weekend League until yesterday. I had a nice weekend off. I was tired as hell of Team of the Year. I hopped on. I said, let's play some games, right? We go 15-0. So we're balling. I got Team of the Year Neymar. We're playing sick. I had a game in my 16th game. I had a breakaway. Hear this out, and you're going to love this. And I know you talk about this all the time with your stream and your chat. I had a breakaway. I was in the box. I had the opportunity to tramp the ball. If you guys don't know what a tramp is, you pass it across the goal. It's the OG FIFA goal, right? You just tap it in the net. I pulled the ball out of the box on a 2-on-1 versus a keeper, and I played it backwards to Kevin De Bruyne. at the 25-yard line to hit a green time finesse because that's more efficient than scoring in the box.
It's more efficient than passing the ball. It's more efficient than passing the ball across a goal and then shoot it, because going back to hit the time finesse is more effective.
And
that's
because
very true.
of the way the keepers are being moved, I don't like to take the chance that he's going to read my pass across because he can move his keeper now, or that he's going to dodge back and wait for that pass and be in the right place when I do it. So I feel more comfortable. That's what I'm saying. Now, that may not make sense to a lot of you guys, but there's been a lot of situations where I'm even in a low-driven scenario like last year where you would do a BB or what is it, a circle on PS in the 10 or 12-yard area. Where I'm in that scenario this year, I'm doing a shot fake, I'm doing a step over, I'm pulling it out. I'm going back to run another play to get a time finesse or a finesse around the box or at the corner of the box. All I am doing, dude, if you watch my gameplay, all I am doing is finessing the ball because it's how you win this year. And it's just like, it's sad. I'm not complaining because I like this game, but that I don't like. Like, that is just dumb. And I watched one of your highlight things, man, where you were reviewing a game. And if you watch the pros too, it's all they do as well, man. Dude, these guys don't take any low drivens. No one does it. It's like, it's dead, bro. I played against a dude yesterday. Another example, when we're talking gameplay right now. He had breakaways against me. And bro, this kid was green timing low drivens and they weren't going in.
Yeah.
Like, he was having shots in my 12. And I was like, man, I feel bad for this kid because he's taking the right shot. But the way that EA has made this game, that's not the right shot to score efficiently this year. So I do like the finesses are back because, for one, I love finesse shots. Like, I really do like them, and I like the feeling of scoring them, and I think they're prettier. But the fact that they've overpowered one-on-ones, the whole one-on-one thing this year, man, I think there's a few things with that, right? If we consistent gameplay, which I know you've been talking about for years, it seems almost impossible at this rate. We do need these servers to get way more upgraded because the kind of games I'm playing, I know you reviewed one of my games the other week, and you were like, you saw the one game and then you saw the next game. You're like, what the hell? Like, that is so different. Like,
yeah,
that just can't be a thing, man. It's that, first of all. And then, yeah, I do feel like I want to talk about this with you as well. I know I just rambled about that. But
no. Keep going, bro. Don't worry about it.
I would like to argue this because I think there's two things that I would like to talk about. First of all, I think you and me, like, understand what good gameplay would be like. I think what we just want is, look, if there's an abusive meta, and first of all, the ones, let's discount that. That should be fixed, right? One-on-one should be efficient. They should always be efficient. But outside of that, like, if we just had consistent servers, I would always be fine if, yes, there's a broken meta or something. If we're as long as we're just playing, right? So that's one thing I was gonna just speak about. Give me one sec, because I was gonna think about this. I was getting into another thought right now, and I completely forgot. Let's think.
I do the same thing all the time.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you about, we're just talking about low drivens. We're talking about time finesse.
1v1s, inconsistent
1v1s,
gameplay.
we're talking about inconsistent gameplay. I was going to compare something from good gameplay.
Right.
There's a lot of, I understand, right? There's a lot wrong with this game, but to an extent, I just would always like to argue, like, would we ever really know, like, if a game was good? Like, do you think any, like, as a given point, would there ever be like a certain thing around Fortnite had for like 6 months? You know what I'm saying? Where nobody complained and the game was just freaking amazing and nobody was like, this is wrong or that's wrong. And I guess within Fortnite, sometimes there's a gun that's more overpowered, right? And then Epic goes and fixes it or nerfs it. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that I was thinking about the other day, man, because I've been playing FIFA for so long, and every year the game is different, right? In its own way. Like, would we ever know? Because every year it seems like every single year now, because I don't know, this is probably an unpopular opinion, dude. Like, and I don't hate me for this. I like this game more than last year's game, personally. And I don't know why. I hate the meta, right? Like, I hate that one-on-ones suck, and I hate that the meta's finesse shots and all this stuff. I just like, for me, because I love 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. That's what I've always played. That formation right now for me and how I'm playing, like, I'm really enjoying this game. And I'm very addicted to playing it. Whereas last year I got pretty burnt out, man. And I just don't know. I felt like last year, like, yes, I'm very frustrated, right? When I miss a one-on-one or when somebody hits a no-scope 360 time finesse on me, I'm very frustrated. Like, I'm like, dude, that is so broken. That's not even realistic. But, like, I just remember, dude, last year, I don't know, that last year for me, the kickoffs were like nuts. Now, I don't know if I've become a better field player, so maybe I'm stopping them more. I don't know if kickoffs are worse this year, and you can tell me your opinion on that.
They're very similar. Very similar.
Last year, I died from kickoffs the whole year. And another thing last year that was really tough for me, man, was I would always a lot of low drivens from like 30 yards out. Like, cards like Del Piero, Ronaldinho, just. So last year, the only thing that I like about last year's gameplay more than this year is the one-on-ones, man. Because last year, dude, if you were on a one-on-one, you would most likely score. If you were like somebody who knew how to play FIFA, you could score. That's the one difference that this year I don't like. But I'm not telling you guys the reason why I like this game more. I have no idea. I don't know why I like this game more. That's the problem. Because I know this game, if you think about the gameplay parts to it, it's a lot less finished than last year's game, and it's worse. I don't understand why I'm liking it more. And I'll tell you guys right now, it's not because of the content that they're bringing out. Now, the content this year, we can speak about that because I'm with the market and all that as well. Like, they're doing way better than last year in terms of content. So you are having more players play this game because of it. Last year, as you know, for being a content creator, I think sometimes we had to wait 5 weeks for a Prime Icon SBC, or
that is very true.
Any SBC. So this year we've literally hopped on every day, and I've seen you do reviews on players. Like, we get a new flashback every other day. And at least through this last week, it's been crazy, right? But yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, why do I like this game more?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think it's based off of results? Because do you think it's because you're winning more games now that you feel that way? Because for me, Nick, this is something that I explain to a lot of people, and you'll sometimes get those people, like, because I know what the type of question is you're trying to ask in regards to like why you like the game more, right?
Yeah.
For me, Nick, my enjoyment doesn't come from winning and losing. My enjoyment comes from playing a proper football game, and then the thing that I fight for every single year, good gameplay. I push that.
Yeah.
I will risk my content. I'll risk view. I don't give a shit. I just want to get the good gameplay, right? But for me, and it's always been like this because I've been complaining about it since FIFA 15. FIFA 15, dude, I had like a 15 win to loss ratio, right? But I always told people that's not what it is for me. The thing that I need is a good football game that has good, consistent gameplay for me to enjoy. And for me, Nick, it's not about results. If I have a FIFA where my win-loss ratio is a 4 and I have a win-loss ratio that's a 10 in another one, but I hate the gameplay in the 10, but I like the gameplay in the 4, that's a big thing for me, because enjoyment from the game is not based off of results. I think personally, right? And I will say this, and I don't care about saying this, and this is us having a conversation. I think that people like this game more because they can win more off of garbage game mechanics.
Yeah,
I like what you're saying. The one thing that you like, and this is a fair opinion. I can agree with this one. I can see where you're coming from with this one. The first time finesse, when you are coming inside from an angle, I can see why you like that. Because there are situations where those ones kind of feel a little bit authentic when the player is running inside and they hit a first time finesse.
Yes.
That's fine. I understand where you're coming from. But in the video game aspect, it is very overpowered. Because even if you know, right, that the person is going to do the finesse shot, you can move your goalkeeper to the left side, but someone can do a first time finesse to the opposite side. Yes. There is no player in real life, right, that's going to be like, okay, since the goalie moved to the right side, I'm going to hit it to the left side now.
Agreed.
Because the authenticity of football, right, it just doesn't make sense when your gameplay is revolved around that. Because for me personally, right, when you're playing the gameplay, and I explain this to the devs too, and a lot of people, they can hate me if they want for this, but it's what I have to say. The game needs to be authentic. We cannot have this manual goalkeeping bullshit. We can't have this linear style of play where people only go for finesse shots, because I will literally come across people that are only doing finesse shots the entire game. And it's a broken way of looking at football, because they get that angle and then you can't even defend anymore. You have to look at the goalie. Okay, am I gonna predict the left or the right? No, man. Football, you need to break people down. You need to be rewarded for breaking them down. That's where the IQ comes in, you know? But the first time finesse, I get where you're coming from, though.
Yes, I want to ask you a few questions right now because I'm on here to ask you.
Okay.
So I agree with your point. Yes, I'm winning a lot more this year. I'm getting crazy finishes, and literally at this point, man, the last few weekends, I should have literally had a bunch of 29 and 1s and 30 of those. I'm losing a few games because of my eyes getting tired. The stream's gonna laugh. Last night I jumped up and my power switch went off when I was winning because I scored a good goal. Stuff like that, right? So I think the winning this year, I think you have a good point there. What I will tell you is this. I had a 34-6 last year, a 35-5. I think one thing I am enjoying, although the mechanics suck, so at times this year, I agree with what you just said. I really like this 30-game weekend league. I think the 10 games being less is really having me not be like last year when I finished weekend league, when I had the 35-5 weekend or whatever, I was really excited, dude. But dude, I didn't want to play FIFA.
It was exhausting. 40 games was too much for you. No, 40 game. I think it just cut out. Oh, yeah, your voice is gone. Nikolai! You good?
Like, yeah, we good?
Yeah, you're back. Go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
What has been your favorite FIFA gameplay-wise? Just quickly, like what has been?
My favorite gameplay? Dude, I'm going to tell you something right now, okay?
Okay.
I like every single FIFA when gameplay's good, except for this one. So when I play FIFA 15, 16, 17, bro, the only reason...
Favorite. Just give me your favorite. Just give me your favorite.
12 and 13. Yeah. 12 and 13 is very close between each other.
So for me, mine was 12, and my other one, which is really close with 12, is FIFA 17.
Okay.
I really liked 17. 18 felt like the same version of 17, except way worse. I don't know if you agree with that.
It felt like a worse version of 17, yes. I agree with that. I used to say that a lot, too.
So that's something where I'm coming from, and I agree with you. So 17 and as well, dude, like just to let the chat know as well, because I know that what you brought up about, yes, I'm having this success factor with the weekend league, so I'm probably feeling better this year. I've been an elite player since FIFA 17. I had like 10 elite finishes in 17. And I'd say once you get on the elite level, you have to become respectable as a player. Would you argue that?
No, you definitely are.
100%. You know how to play FIFA.
Yes.
I agree with you. One thing I want to talk about, I make a joke with my stream, dude, is like my team name is Move Your Keeper right now. The thing is so stupid. It's so dumb. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen put into a FIFA in my life. That's the one thing. Okay. 360 no scopes, right? Like all that, the time finesse, whatever, man. It's awful. It's the meta. It's the mechanic. We're going to have to live with it because it doesn't look like they're changing it. So that's why at this point, I just adapted to it. I practiced it like hell, like crazy 3 weeks ago. And now I'm sick at it, right? So that's this year's game. Hopefully it's not in the game next year, right? Let's move on. The one thing that should not even be in this game and should have been taken out the second week is this goalkeeper thing. The argument that it hires a skill gap, it's just, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, dude. Like it's that, because that's the pitch of it. That's why they did it. Because they feel like at events and things like that. And like, dude, I'm watching these commentators at events and like, brother, look, I'm not a game changer. Like I'll say my mind. I'm not like EA's best friend. Like I really just go at them when I feel like I need to. These guys at the events who are justifying these goalkeeper movements look like idiots.
Yeah.
They really do. They're actually doing themselves, because I'm watching these commentators and like, look, dude, I'm sure I follow these or they follow me on Twitter. Like I'm not taking jabs at them. It's their job. I get it. But to a certain extent, when they're hyping up these plays that these players are making, you know, oh, Pele with the 40-yard no-look time finesse. What a beautiful one. And the keeper tried to move it and he almost got there. Are you kidding me? Like, what is that? Like, it's terrible, dude. Like, they should be sitting there wanting to throw up because of the uncomfortableness of what they have to commentate. Because that is ridiculous, dude. These plays, like, they're like, again, like I talked to you about the basketball plays, dude. Watch the commentary of what they're doing when they're watching a game of like Tex or something. They're like, because I low-key watch this stuff. I never talk about it on streams or videos, but like every possession, they're almost saying like, you know, what play is Tex going to run here to get his winger for a time finesse? And, you know, is Gorilla going to see it and move his keeper in time so he can prevent the goal?
That's how they're commentating. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, what is that? That's what FIFA's at right now, dude. So that is the difference between, yes, this game is probably worse than last year, even though I'm enjoying it more, because you have to look at the simple things of the commentary, dude. Like, just within what they're saying, you can hear that it's worse. Whereas last year you would say, oh, you know, one-on-one, and the occasional miss on the low driven. Occasional.
Yeah.
Like very not that common that someone misses a low driven on a one-on-one last year. Whereas this year, yeah, man, like these guys are justifying, as I said before. And I will admit it, because when people were watching me last night in my stream, and when people watch me play Weekend League, like a lot of the guys that support me are like, yo, Nick, you're absolutely killing it right now, dude. Like, keep going. You're doing well. And there's an occasional guy who comes in there and goes, dude, you just abused the hell out of the meta. Like, you suck.
You gotta ignore those people because you just have to. You have to.
Oh, exactly. Like, I don't read it out, but I'm sitting here on this podcast, like telling everyone, I'm a victim. Like I am guilty of it. Like I do it. And like I pull out on breakaways to take finesse shots because it's more effective. So that is where FIFA's at. And I'm not okay really saying that that's a thing, but it is a thing. And we got to like live with it right now. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I wanted to get on and talk about the keeper, man. That keeper stuff, dude. And I'll say this, bro, because there's a few things. There's probably one or two other things gameplay-wise that I want to talk about. So the keeper thing, I've gotten amazing at figuring out what keepers do. I've gotten really good, and this is a gameplay tip to anybody watching. Just practice opening up in the box when you have the shot opportunity. You know, like a little bit of a dribble open. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. A lot of these guys with their goalies will move it the second you open up, because to stop the finesse shot this year, you would have to get there early. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You've seen it in my gameplay where I do that, and then I come back near post and just, I finesse it. The problem with that is I have missed open nets on that near post shot if I don't green time it. That should never be a thing in the box.
Mm-hmm.
You're using professional football players, like top world class, because the keeper is being moved and you can't go to the number one shot of the finesse shot far post. You're just settling with a normal shot. You don't even have to time it. And the guys are hitting the post in the 10 on an open goal. I've missed shots, dude, with players like I missed a shot, dude, to actually win a game last night with Neymar's team of the year, was amazing this weekend. It was the best card I've actually ever used in FIFA. The guy missed an open net because I had opened up. He had moved his keeper to the far post. So I had done everything right towards the meta this year. I had waited for him, which so stupid, dude, that I'm even talking about this, that I have to wait for my opponent to move a keeper to score, right? Because it's like this concept of you have to beat, instead of breaking an opponent down and then saying, Inception, like, watch your gameplay, right? You just broke down 5 people and then you scored a low driven because you should be rewarded for that. You should score that, right? We're at the point where now you have to break somebody down and then you have to freaking decide or beat a keeper. That's just dumb. Like if you break someone's whole back line, you should score if you put a shot in a corner or on target. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's at the right angle. So that's a big problem for me with the goalkeeper movement, dude. It's like it's not a skill gap. It's just stupidity. And what it is doing, man, is it's keeping people. Let me give you a perfect example. So how does matchmaking work this year? Like once you're on like a plus 15, you're playing like decent players at least, right?
Pretty much, yeah. So it's the first 15 I would say the first for FUT champs, the first 11 or 12 it's the most casual FIFA you'll probably get in the whole year. Like, of course, you'll certainly dude. Sometimes you'll start a weekend 9-3, but it's because you came up against like 3 guys that just know what they're doing, right? But then those first 12 games is more of an open matchmaking than after. So some people get confused, right? Like they'll and I'm sure you've gotten these tweets, these messages on Twitch where it's like, oh my god, dude, I can't believe I went from 15-0 to like 22-8. Going from 15-0 to 22-8 is very acceptable because
agreed,
you are facing harder people after you go to the 14-15 games. That's just how it works. So it makes sense that you're going 22-8. In regards to the game mechanic that you're talking about, this is something that I mentioned to people a lot, right? The way that 1v1 finishing, and this works the exact same way with 1v1 finishing, is complete bullshit because they decide whether or not they hit the target or not. You can have people that have 99 finishing, 99 composure, 99 shot power, whatever, and they will still miss the target. The thing with manual goalkeeping, first of all, here's the only reason why it needs to stay in the game right now. The only reason why is because of the finesse shot meta. That's the only reason why, right? But if the finesse shot meta was taken out, the goalie movement would also have to be taken out. It would have to be fucking removed. It would need to be dead. It would never be brought back. Here's the problem with the shooting, like you mentioned, right? When the guy moves his goalkeeper and you see where he's moving the goalkeeper, you're like, oh, perfect. So because he's moving to the right, I'm going to shoot the ball to the left on an open goal now, right? I'm going to take the shot there. The problem with this game is that because of the finishing, no matter which player you have, is so RNG that you can outpredict your opponent, hit that side, and still miss the target. On a 1v1, your players, if you're inside the 18-yard box and you know how I always talk about angles is what makes a 1v1 skilled, and I always will mention this, right? When you're approaching the box from the bottom or the top, but you're cutting on the inside, right, to get that driven shot angle or whatever, right? There are literally times where the guy moves his goalkeeper predicting a driven shot or a shot across goal, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll just shoot in the middle or on the right side, and your players will still miss the net even if you hit it in the green. That's how
Ridiculous.
fucking broken it is, because the finishing is so RNG that if someone predicts the other side and you go to the side that he's not in, you can still miss the target, right? Because it makes no sense. The balance, and dude, listen, man, this is from a comment that you made earlier, right?
Yeah.
No matter what anybody tells you, Nick, after playing this game for years, there is a close to perfect FIFA. There is. It does exist, okay? But you have to look at it from a point of view that is unbiased. You have to look at it from a point of view where it's like, okay, this makes sense. Dude, don't get me wrong. There's still goals in FIFA 18 where I can see that. I'm just like, you know what? Nice goal, man. You broke down my defense. You have a good player like Griezmann hitting it on his strong foot in that area. I like that goal. Dude, the thing, I'm such a huge football enthusiast that when someone scores a nice goal on me, it doesn't make me mad or sad. It makes me happy. I'm like, dude, I just conceded a good goal.
Dude, I do the same thing. When someone scores a banger against me, I'm like, yo, that is a sick goal.
Like, you fucking, dude, there's this one kid, man, and he was from my stream, bro. This kid had a similar team to me. Nick, I'm telling you, and I've never seen this kid in my life. I've faced pro players, bro, but this kid I was facing was the best player I've ever played in my life, man. And the gameplay was decent. It wasn't good or great, but decent is the bare minimum I want to be acceptable, right? And I was facing this kid, no finesse shot. That was like, when we were playing against each other, dude, I feel like we got an understanding. And I think because he's from the stream and he knows how much I hate it, we had an understanding like, yo, let's play some proper football and win a game like that, right? This kid was fucking all over me, Nick. And I loved it because I was like, dude, this kid beat me 3-0, Nick. And I was like, you know what, man? This kid's the fucking truth right here. This guy just played proper football. I was happy to lose against him and be like, you know what, dude? I'm okay with that. It brought me pure joy because I haven't had that feeling in such a long time. Because, dude, if the gameplay was garbage, no fucking way would I accept the loss. But because the gameplay was decent, I was like, nah, bro, this guy's better than me. I don't give a fuck. I'm not even gonna complain about this.
No,
this was fantastic.
I have the same thing in Weekend League, dude, where like I'll have games that I'll drop 4-3, but because we were both going all out attack the whole game and just playing FIFA, I'm not pissed, dude, because it was fun. You know, like we're going at it, regardless of the finesse shots. You know what I'm saying? You get some of those people you play against, dude, that just, bro, they're not parking the bus and switching the ball for a second. They're like, yo, let's play.
They're playing open FIFA, back and forth shit. It's
regardless of the meta, regardless. If there's no keeper moving BS and you play against somebody who just wants to play, this game is fun. I don't care what anyone says. When I get a few of those games a weekend, I'm like, yo, if the connection is decent, you know what I'm saying? Like if the gameplay is good, it's fun. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I was just I see that all the time. People at me and they're like, Nick, I was 15-0. I'm now 21-9. Am I a terrible FIFA player? Yeah, no. I agree with you. The matchmaking, it gives you a false sense. And the problem with what it does is it makes a lot of people nervous. There's players who have never gotten more than gold 2 in their life who will be 12-0 in the weekend league. And they will start to get screwed with matchmaking because they will start playing insane players that are way better than them. Something that's really interesting, dude, that I wanted to speak about with the goalkeeper movement. Mm-hmm. So once I get to like always like 14-1, 13-2, 15-0, whatever it is, I always start playing against players that, one, either have a mega team, or two, have Red Jesus, informed by stuff like that. Yeah. And the people, when I'm streaming the game, they go, oh, Nick, you got this, man. It's easy. And I say, chat, you know what? If it wasn't me, right, and I wasn't confident and good with finishing this year, and I didn't know how to use this meta with letting their keeper move, I would really struggle against this person. Because you know why I'm playing them? You see the team, and you don't even need to know their play style. There's a reason you're playing them because you're 15-0. It's because they can move their keeper so well. So the casual player who doesn't know how to be composed, which is a lot of FIFA players, dude, a lot. Like there is a small percentage of people who know how to properly finish and read a keeper this year that are not pros. It's not easy. That percentage of people, who are in that gold 2, gold 3, area. Yeah. When they run into that player, no chance, bro. They can't even score a goal because they're doing predictable finesse shots and the kid is just moving his keeper all game. So that's the biggest problem that I see, where like I'm literally facing kids, dude, who I'm like, yo, I beat the kid 7-0 when I'm 16-0. And I go into Champ's channel, right? And I look at his record, dude. And he was like 14-1 or something. And I'm like, bro, this kid is awful. He's literally awful. But he's winning games because he knows how to move his keeper. It's like that for me is something that I can see it, dude. I can see how somebody's like literally abusing it. and getting wins out of it, because I know they're basically, they're like taking someone's lunch money, dude. They're just picking on kids who don't know how to. And I guess, is it their fault because they don't know how to, I don't know if it's their fault or not. So that's another thing I see. I'm trying to think of other things we could talk about really quick that I would like to discuss FIFA wise. I think content this year, I think the team of the year promo was, I know everyone's rating it. I probably would have given it a 9.5 because I packed team of the year Mbappe in the last hour. I'm going to give it a 10. Very biased, but realistically, man, this was honestly, outside of the festival football promo last year and Footmas in FIFA 17, this was one of the best promos I've ever seen. We got a mix of flashback cards, usable icons. The community was every night rooting for their favorite content creator or friends in the stream to pack a blue. I've never seen something like that before, dude, where people were like, yo, I'm so happy for you or something like that. Like, that was really cool. And I know that that's kind of a little bit more not out of your realm, but you're a very gameplay specialist guy. So I know at times it's like, it's very different for you to hear because it's very flop-sided this year. They're overcorrecting now with content because they are aware of how broken some of their game is and how too late it is. So fair play on them, man, because I think they're doing all they really can at this time. I don't really know if they can. I mean, I know that they can patch the game, and I understand that, but I think that they're doing a good job of covering up for the most part about some of the actual game. And I do think that there has been, especially in the last few years with the introduction of SBCs, there's a big menu content to FIFA. I know a lot of people that just don't even play FIFA, not for the gameplay. It's not that they don't like games, dude. They just almost play it like a FIFA mobile or, a Topps card collector.
I tell it to people all the time. It's basically like a FIFA trading card game now.
Dude, it really is. It's a big part of the game, dude.
Yeah.
There's people that live for just packing players and making coins because it's a way to almost flex in a non-funny way. You have X amount of coins and this is your club and you're playing the world's arguably biggest football game. It's not even arguably, it is, right? So that's another thing that I think is interesting to see. Yeah, it's interesting, dude. I think for me, dude, this FIFA sucks a lot if you don't learn how to get good at the meta. Because I'll tell you this, bro. I am liking the game a lot more because I figured out how to play it. And it's not based off of wins. It's because, and I do think the wins is adding a certain amount of happiness factor to me. And I'm like, yo, okay, I'm winning. I'm good at FIFA. I'm liking the game more because I figured out how to use what EA wants you to use. You know what I'm saying? When I was playing this game in the first few weeks, dude, like I was playing in FIFA 18 or 17 with that style in this game. Dude, I was like, what is this FIFA, bro? I can't play. I suck. Like, I was so bad. Dude, I was like terrible, man. I was so bad. I was getting like, I remember, dude, in the first week of FIFA, dude, with this year, I was like stretching for gold 1. And I was like, did I really get this shit in FIFA? Like, I didn't know how to time finesse. I actually was so funny, dude. Like, when I was first streaming Weekend League, I was 15-3.
For this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was probably like in November, right? Or December. And I left all my games till Sunday nights because I was like, yo, let's go clutch up for Elite. So we get up to like 18-4. You know what's the best part about this, dude? I didn't even know I wasn't time finessing. I didn't know I wasn't using time finishing. Like, I just played FIFA, like FIFA 18, and my players were missing shots because I wasn't doing time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was crazy for me, dude. I ended up finishing 22-8. I choked the Elite 3. I lost to some players who had they would have 2 shots, but they timed. And I would have 12 shots, but I didn't even know what was going on. So I think EA, honestly, and I will go out to say this, I don't think they've done enough to let the casual user know, like, you have to do this to do well in this game. And I know that it's not their job to do that.
I don't think they ever would.
They wouldn't, man. But here's the deal. Like, I play against 15 kids a weekend that don't use it. And I don't even think they maybe know what it is. And I think outside this community, it's maybe hard to do that because there's not, when you open up Ultimate Team, dude, like they probably leave you on with a trainer, but you always turn the trainer off, dude. You know what I'm saying? When you play FIFA.
Right.
So I just think there's a lot of people who don't even know how to do it. And people who are trying to learn how to do it. And it's just like, yeah. So that's another thing as well. What else do you think is worth, mentioning? You want to, I'm trying to think about other market things. SBCs have been on fire, as I just said, like last week or so.
I don't think all SBCs have been that great. So
okay, we can talk about some price points on SBCs if you want.
Okay, so I'll explain it from a gameplay perspective, right? There are some SBCs that they release that are too expensive for an untradeable card that is probably going to get an inform. So for instance, because you know that I do like the player reviews every time for Footmas, especially. I was doing one like every single day, right? I'm going to be completely honest with you, Nick. From a gameplay perspective, in terms of each player that you're getting, the only ones from the top of my head that I can remember that were worth doing was Arias from Atletico Madrid, right back, Colombian player, right?
He's good.
Van Aanholt, Dutch player, left back, EPL, and that was it. And maybe Matuidi, because Matuidi doesn't really get that many informs, right?
Matuidi's sick.
Only because of that. But everything else, Nick, in terms of the price point that you were paying for the players and the quality that you were getting in return for an untradeable player that has the potential to get an inform, I think it was shit. I think the entire promo was garbage, because those two, which were fullbacks, were the only ones that were good. Heung-min Son, they fucked up because they made him a left mid. If they made him a striker, it would have been more interesting, right? Jordan Lukaku, if they made him a left back, it would have been more interesting. They kept him as a left mid. No one's going to fucking use Jordan Lukaku, right?
What do you think about KDB? I played 200 games with him.
KDB FUTmas card?
Yeah, I did him. He was about 500K.
Okay, so KDB, right? I think he's getting back into the team now, and you know, he may get informs because KDB is one of the best midfielders in the world, right? How much was you explain to me? How much was that KDB card worth?
How much was the SBC, or how much should he be worth on the market?
No, how much was he worth when you did the SBC? Like, what was the price range of it?
The price was 550 and 545 or something. I think I did him for 460 because I bought some cards early on.
I'm just gonna search this.
They also.
Okay, so I'm looking at this card right now, right? I'm looking at it on my screen. So the comparison between the two for getting +1s and +2s, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. For a regular player, for it being 252K, right? A regular card that you can actually sell is very different to a card that you said you paid 450, 550 or something for him, right? For the FUTmas card. Not worth it, man. It's not worth paying that much for KDB for an untradeable card. It's not. Because the value is different, right? Especially for a card like De Bruyne that could potentially get informed, because, again, one of the best midfielders in the world. Does he have informs right now? No, but the jump, right? If you get the Champions League card, the Champions League card is 540, right? That's a card you can sell if you're bored of him. And 540 coins, for me, right? And maybe for a lot of people that don't want to use the conversation that we're going to get into, Nick, is the market at some point. I want to get to that with you as well. A Champions League card that you can sell, and a FUTmas card that has, if I click this card right now and we look at the differences, +1s, never in my life, bro. Never in my life would I get an untradeable card for +1s. Never. For the same price, never. I would never do it, right? Because it just doesn't make any sense to do. You're paying for the color of the card. That's it. That's the only reason why you're paying for it, because that Champions League card, no matter what anybody tells you, it is placebo if you think +1s are gonna make a difference in your gameplay with that card. It is placebo. You can debate that the 2s and the 3s, you'll notice a little bit of a difference, but you will not notice a difference with +1s. You won't. I've never in my life played FIFA with one card where the +1s make a difference. Now, if you're gonna be telling me about a flashback Ibrahimovic, I've been preaching to people, do the fucking card. One, if you play him as a substitute, he's still one of the most meta strikers in the game, even with his garbage balance, right? Even with the Terra balance, he's one of the most meta cards in the game, right? Two, the cards, how much was it? I think people told me it was like 200K or some shit.
Yeah, it was about 175.
That is a fabulous price for a card that has Team of the Year stats.
That's why
you will never get that, you know?
What I was telling you earlier, man, about the price points is that I think they screwed.
With the Ibrahimovic?
It's way too cheap.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's, dude, but 175K, right? For a player that's playing for the MLS with Swedish links, you need icons. I don't want to hear nothing about the Alessandrinis, the Martinez. No, you need icons because this game is completely meta-oriented. Those guys are not full meta yet.
Can I make an argument with you really quickly?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, for an example, that when you were just talking about that Kevin De Bruyne, and I'm not defending it. I did Kevin De Bruyne because I personally love 5-star weak foots. I love how he plays. I always have in FIFA. So I did it. I was like, you know what? I've been making a lot of coins recently. I think it's an okay value, right? It's not the best, but it's not the worst. You can disagree with me.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that on the market he would have been worth, 900K or 850?
If he was worth 900K and 850, I still wouldn't buy it.
Okay.
Because you're looking at a difference of 300, 400K for plus ones.
Yeah. Now the funny thing is with that bail that just came out, right?
Didn't see it yet.
On the market would have been. It's tough to say, but probably 2 million coins, 1.5, right where his SBC is. That is one of those ones that's just not worth it. Obviously, right. I know a lot of people think it's not worth it, but that's where I'm just saying there's just this kind of like they just mess it up a lot, man, and it just like it's never full on accurate. And I think a lot of the times that they have other SBCs out, so it's almost hard for them to predict. Like, you know, with another SBC out, is the demand a lot more because you have certain cards that are rating necessary to go into one SBC, and then you drop another that requires the same rating, and like, you know, it's sometimes hard for them. I'm not cutting them slack. I'm just saying it's very interesting to kind of watch it all pan out because sometimes you see an SBC that starts off being cheap and then it rises about 150K. I think Ibra rose a lot in value. I think initially Ibra was like 110 or something. And then if you check flipping within 6 hours, it was like, that's how you can tell almost that, you know, regarding the market, that everyone is doing something, because when the SBC obviously rises like 80K, it's because the whole world is like, wow, that's just too good of a value.
Yeah, I think when people do those SBCs, a lot of it too, like in terms of like videos and stuff, like if a YouTuber who gets like 40K, 50K views on a video that's of like a player review, that card's going to go up in price. It is, because if they say that the card is really good and that people should try it out, the value will increase. I'm not a market guy, but I know that that's how it's going to work. Especially, dude, 170K for a card like Ibrahimovic with Team of the Year stats is not shit.
Ridiculous.
It's insanity, bro. And it's not, hey, I'm not complaining. I would fucking do the card myself. You know, it's amazing, right? Because, dude, in this game specifically, right, the meta for strikers is so down to the wire specific, man. Okay, because right now I'm using Heung-min Son. The one thing that I can 100% attest to, 100%, is that Cristiano Ronaldo is the only good striker in this game. Because I have Heung-min Son striker. High work rates, terrible to have. He has certain things about his card that just doesn't make him a good striker. You can use Jamie Vardy, you can use fucking Lewandowski, you can use any card you want. Timo Werner with his informs. Nobody touches Ronaldo, right? In previous years, even last year, we used to have at least Gabriel Jesus. And Gabriel Jesus, yeah, he was nowhere fucking near Ronaldo, but that was a meta striker, right? The meta strikers nowadays, Cristiano Ronaldo, like, yeah, he's been the meta striker for God knows how many years. Absolutely. But you would put players as strikers and you'd be like, you know what? This guy is good enough. Nobody is good enough nowadays, right? You can argue that because everyone's different, you know? There's some people who can fucking destroy using fucking Cavani. I've seen it. Immobile, all these types of guys. But in terms of true meta, if you look at the competitive tournaments, name me one player that chose prime fucking Ronaldo over Cristiano Ronaldo at the comp tournament. No. You know what people were doing at the comp tournament? They were using the prime Ronaldo as a cam. Cam. That guy never played a cam in his life. And he was playing cam in that game. You know why? Because Cristiano Ronaldo is single-handedly the most meta, like, literally it's game-changing, bro. The first year when I used to do, I used to play divisions all the time, Nick, right? And that's how I earned my coins. I did a series where I'm like, road to Cristiano Ronaldo, because I was only doing it through gameplay. No trading, nothing, right? Just gameplay. 15K from Division 1. Dude, the moment I got Ronaldo in my team, I think it was in my chat, I might remember, it might be FIFA 15 or FIFA 16. The difference was fucking crazy, man. But at that time, when I was using certain strikers, there were still strikers that I enjoyed using during those times. But nowadays, it's the strikers, Nick, and it's the CDMs. The CDMs in this game fucking suck, man. They suck. Bro, I get it. Fabinho's a good player. Conte's a good player, but no one fucking touches Patrick Vieira and Hullet, man. Nobody. Back in the day, if I was using Ramirez and fucking Bakayoko was decent. But now, bro, look, the thing, dude, I'm an analyst when I'm playing gameplay. You know me, man. I'm an analyst. I'm looking at it while I'm playing. The way I break my opponent down is sometimes I'm just passing the ball around. I want to see how he defends. Is he defending with his AI or is he defending with his cursor, right? When I figure that out, that's when I counter him, right? But in this fucking game, dude, game,
it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
Vieira, it doesn't matter, dude. But at that card specifically, like, I understand your argument. There isn't for CDMs, man. It's just him and Hullet, dude, because it doesn't matter what it does. To beat those two players this year, dude. It's the problem for me, right? Is like every other CDM. I use Balak Prime and CDM. He's good for me, but I assume if when I played against the one team last night, he did get exposed a little bit. The one thing for me, dude, your argument there is like, yes, every other CDM is dead. But the problem is, it's not that Vieira and Hullet are better. It's that they're insanely better. It's not even fucking close.
They're fucking.
Like, you play against those two, dude. It's gone from like every other CDM being average to those two just being superhumans. And I understand.
Just drop your controller.
Yes, I understand that you're paying 3 million coins, dude, for an icon. I get it, dude. Right? Like, it should be worth that. But the others shouldn't be irrelevant. They should at least somewhat compare it, just even a tad, bro. And that's the problem for me, is that it's not even close. And when I play against that. Especially, dude, that pairing together. Oh my God, dude. If they do a 4-2-3-1 with those two together as the DMs, it's fucking insane. Like, you have to beat them like 3 times, and then you have to get past the Maldini and Timothy or Ramos. And it's like, have fun, dude. It's like, I agree with you, dude, because that's the problem with the tournaments right now, dude. And like, I think the thing for esports and the problem with it is that there's no variety. And that you're watching the same players do the same time shots every freaking game, and it's just getting boring.
You're facing the same player every single game. I explained that a billion times. You're facing the same person.
I agree. I saw the Cam Ronaldo, dude, and I'm like, brother, what? I saw that too, man. I was like, yo, those guys, like, they're like, a lot of them are. I've seen that a few times, even, dude. The Cam R9, it might be more than just a few times. It might be like a standard thing in those guys' teams. From what I've seen, they use it, man.
If you look at it from a meta point of view, like if you look at it from a competitive point of view, does it make absolute sense? Yes. And the biggest reason why it makes sense is because Prime Ronaldo, his work rates are not high medium. So that work rate that he has for that cam position is essentially perfect, because he's medium. So he's a stagnant player that will make occasional runs from time to time, right? But 86 short passing, 73 long passing is good enough for the attributes that this guy gives you as a cam. But it's a prime Ronaldo. We're talking about literally one of the best strikers of all time. We're talking clinical. We're talking, dude, it's fucking prime. It's fucking Brazilian Ronaldo. This guy is, dude, anybody thinking about it from a cam perspective, in a meta, it makes sense. It does. It 100% makes sense. You have height, you have physical, you have passing, shooting, dribbling, so on and so forth, right? But it's just fucking crazy, man, because dude, I don't know. And I think there's a lot, like, even you'll share this opinion, but dude, my passion towards making this game better, like, some people will take it as like a salty thing with results. Like I said, man, FIFA 15, my win-loss ratio is fucking insane. But I have a very linear, narrow-minded way of thinking when it comes to FIFA. There's a path that I want this game to follow really badly as a good video game. And that's why I fight for it every single day of my life, bro. Because, dude, Nick, you've seen what happened with other games, right? Like, we're even if FIFA becomes an amazing game, we're never going to get to the Fortnite League of Legends level. But would we get just below that? Absolutely, man. This game shouldn't be, and I explain to people all the time, it shouldn't be the best sports game of all time. It should be one of the best video games of all time. People who don't even like this sport should want to play this game. Yep. Right? That's my vision. I want, dude, because if you look, right, if you stream and you look at your chat, even when you're playing FUT champs, whatever, the people who are still watching this game, whether they want to admit it or not, they're stuck on it, right? Because for me personally, if I wasn't a content creator, right, I would have probably stopped a long time ago. I would have stopped like 3 years ago because of this inconsistent gameplay stuff, right? But if you are still watching streams and you are still watching YouTube videos and you're going to these videos, you're going to these streams to talk shit about this game, deep down, you love this game, right? Mm-hmm. You love this game because you are the hardcore. If you're going to talk shit about the game, right, as a content creator, makes sense because, dude, Nick, me, Jarba, Jukes, we've been grinding this shit, right? We want to make this a thing. Like these guys, dude, even Black Ops, people in Black Ops blew up, man. Look at TP. TP has like over 8,000. He has over 10,000 subs now, bro. TP was at like 50 when he was playing Call of Duty last year, right? When you make a good video game, it's literally life changing. And that's why we try to be consistent. We try to keep grinding that content because we love football so fucking much. And if you make a good game, dude, if you're playing this game right now, right, in this state, right, because I think the game in general fucking blows, right, but if you can still bring yourself to play this game and still really grind it, it's because deep down you really love it. So just imagine how much you would love it if it was actually a good video game. Yeah. How much you would really you would never want to leave your house.
We play it because it's the players that we once loved and it's the players that we watch on TV every day. That's
Brother,
why we play it.
I love Ricardo Quaresma. Quaresma is literally my blood, sweat, and tears. And I can't use him in this game. Do you know how fucking annoying that is, bro? Because I can't use him because he's just not the meta. Because the game is fully revolved around the meta. I want, and whether people in the forums on Reddit, they can talk the shit they want, man. I fight for this game because I want this game to be better. And Nick will say the same thing. Everyone will say the same thing, man. But the passion overthrows how the game actually is, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I agree with you. This should be, it's not as big as, the problem with this game is, and you can see it, right? It's like they add in all these insane cards, but you saw the viewers this week. I know that you could argue that like what it's Castro carrying, man, but if you looked at Twitch, man, and like all the FIFA streamers, there was like, this whole week during Team of the Year, dude, at the peak times, which is the 6 p.m. UK time, dude, like most days was like the #1 game on Twitch, like, and it wasn't that close, and there was probably like 15 streamers, dude, who had over 2,000 viewers, which is kind of crazy, dude. And like I haven't seen that in a long time, and I understand that's because of Team of the Year. That shouldn't be like, here's the deal, right? You know why everybody was on, right? Because obviously it's content. There's new cards. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not on for the game. They're on because of the content, because they want to pack cards or they want to collect cards. That's the problem, dude. There needs to be that feeling of everyone wants to just fucking play FIFA, even if there's not even a fucking new card out on the day.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Like only on the weekends, then do 20% of the populace go on and play Weekend League. It's still not even everyone. And then the other guys just disappear out of the dust. Maybe they're not even playing another game anymore when there's a new promo to come check out the new cards. And then they play a game or two and then they hop off. It's like, that's the problem right now with it. So
I get where you're coming from, because what you're coming from. And Nick, for me, I mute everything FIFA related on my timeline on Twitter because I want to see anything else but FIFA. Because I just want to, like, when I'm doing my IRL stuff, I want to see like just regular gaming stuff. So I don't see tweets from a lot of people, so on and so forth, right? I follow out of respect because I like people, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that I have to mention, man, and it's the thing that you just brought up, right, is that FIFA should be the game that people want to see every single day, right? Because right now, like you said, Team of the Year promo, we're one of the top games. But Nick, let me explain to you why we're one of the top games. It's because of the pack openings. It's because of the Team of the Year market, right? Because the game, right, it needs to be good in general to carry that hype throughout the entire year, right? Because Team of the Year hype is amazing. But Nick, for me, this is my point of view. I think, right, that we're looked at as a joke in the gaming community because we get excited, or not we, I don't, because this is just how I am. Everyone else may be different, right? But people get excited for packing cards that they're not even going to use in the game. Because in anything else, right? If you play Overwatch and they do their pack openings for the cosmetics, right? They do it for their skins and whatnot. When they open skins for their characters, they can't wait to use it in the game. And the viewership, right, between them opening the packs might go up a little bit, right? But people are down to watch you open the packs, but they're also down to watch you actually play the game, right? Yeah. That's the balance that FIFA needs right now, because in Team of the Year, right, if we have a balance of people wanting to watch pack openings, but then when you get to the gameplay, people want to watch that too, that's important for me, man. For me as a gamer, I think that's vital, because I've noticed this even with the top streamers, bro. The moment they stop opening the packs for Team of the Year, the moment they stop doing menu stuff, the viewership drops, man. And it doesn't drop by a little bit. It plummets, right? It plummets, dude, right? And I think that really sucks because if I pack a Team of the Year card, whether it's Mbappe, Ronaldo, or whatever it is, people should want to see you use it in the game, but they don't. They just want to see you actually pack the card, right? And I don't want the game to only be in the state of it being a FIFA trading card game. I want it to be in the state of it being a good video game. Like you said, the hype should not only be for opening packs and just Team of the Year. This hype should be the thing every single day, like Fortnite, like League. People want to see people play that game every single day. And during the daytime, weekdays, let's just say we got no promos, right? There's no gameplay content. There's nothing for your viewers to look forward to. If I play a draft, you remember from back in the day, Nick, right? When Foot Drafts was first released, people wanted to watch the fuck out of that because they
wanted to see what your reward was.
They want to see your reward was. But after years progressively went by, they noticed you get fuck all in the rewards even if you win. So as a viewer, why would I want to watch someone play gameplay and not look forward to something? But if you have challenges and achievements and all that stuff to do to collect, to unlock specific cards, that's what's needed in this game so that you have a good balance in terms of people like you, people who are in love with the way that the transfer market is, people like me who want to only play the gameplay all the time, and have that balance between the two where no matter what time of the day, no matter what day it is, the weekends, the weekdays, people want to watch and people want to play the game no matter what.
Facts. I mean, I think they know that too. I think it's funny that we say that because, I mean, you saw the tweet today?
Which one?
The EA tweet about the promo on Friday.
Like I said, I mute everything. I don't.
Yeah, so like they tweeted out a picture right as Team of the Year ended, saying, "Whoa, don't go anywhere."
Oh yeah, when you open up the game, there was a thing that said 3 days remaining or whatever.
So I think they know, and I don't think we can sit here and argue or blame them, dude. Like that's smart and it's good because it's gonna have more people playing, and I understand that that's just the problem, and I think it's the problem that they know, like. The fact that like last year we had like a 2 or 3 week break until we got any news on a new promo. And while the content was bad last year, you know, in FIFA 17, we didn't even have like any of that. So I just think that for me today, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, like they're already trying to cling on to everyone because I don't even know what this thing is. I think it's going to be a record breaker promo that comes out Friday, which is going to be really, really cool and new and awesome. But yeah, it's crazy. And it's like very obvious and evident, right? Like that they know the state of their game and that content and menu stuff is carrying it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, even like dude, it's even like, it's everyone, dude, you know, like even though you look at any top streamer on FIFA, there's not a lot of gameplay really, man.
Dude, people told me, it was yesterday or 2 days ago when I was doing the podcast with my boy, Nightwatch, right? Competitive player. And people were telling me in the chat that, I'm not going to name streamers, and this is listen, man, when I am passionate about these things, it's not anyone's fault, bro, because that's how you have to adjust with how the state of the game is, right? So people literally told me on a Foot Champs weekend that people would watch a stream for 10 hours and they played one game in those 10 hours. One game. They played one game on a Foot Champs weekend. Because the menu stuff carries this game. And it's something that like I've been discussing, but I would never be able to do myself, right, Nick? So, and this is the conversation that I wanted to have with you, right? I myself, is it wise to do the market stuff nowadays because that's where the content lies, that's what people want to see? Absolutely. I completely see that. But for me myself, it wouldn't be as enjoyable for me because I feel like a video game needs to have a balance of everything. I love the transfer market community, man. I was a big fan. Like, I used to watch like L-Dog back in the day, right? When he was like the transfer market guy. I was watching L-Dog all the time. You recently, like, I started watching your stream consistently, like a couple of months ago. Just have you on the TV, see what you're saying about the certain players, because I understand nothing about the market, right? Because I'm strictly gameplay, right? And I love that you guys have your community now, right? I love that. It's important because if you guys have your community, and then we have our community, like pure gameplay guys. And then we have the community of the in-between that's market and gameplay. That's the dream, right? That's the balance that I want. But for me personally, I wouldn't be able to completely revolve my content around being in the menus because I play a video game to play the video game, right? If I get a card, my first instinct, and this is just not the instinct of a lot of FIFA guys, and it's not their fault because that it's the state of the game right now. The instinct is not, oh my god, I really want to try him out in the game, right? It's, oh my god, I can't wait to sell him, make all those coins, and then do this all over again.
Yeah.
For me, dude, it makes me really sad saying that that's the case, because first of all, first owner cards carry no weight. They should do that to make you feel like, yo, even though this card is 8 million coins, that fucking first owner though, like there's a specific game mechanic or a menu mechanic where if you get that first owner through the game, it carries more value. Like the color of the board changes, or if you mix I have so many ideas that just runs through my head, Nick. But imagine like a team of the year Ronaldo, right? Like a Tawny Pack team of the year Ronaldo. Yeah. Imagine if EA gave you like an elite looking, like, you know, elite, how in any video game you play, it's like red and black, right? That's like top of the line armor, gear, whatever, right? Imagine having a colored card like that, and then mixing it with the team of the year to show people, yo, this is a first owner fucking Ronaldo. What's up? You know what I mean? Because then even though it's 8 million coins, it makes you feel, I want to keep this card. I want to use it in the game, right?
Facts.
And I feel like EA really needs to. This game doesn't need a revamp. Listen, man, I'm cool with Division Rivals being in the game. I'm cool with FUT Champs being in the game even. I hate FUT Champs as a game mode because I think as a video game, it shouldn't be a concept. But I am very understanding of others liking the game mode. So I'm at that rate, I'm like, okay, they can keep the game mode in the game. But they need, and this is, I don't know if you've seen like the thing that I preach like all the time on Twitter and all that stuff, Nick, is that I preach that they need, you know, that online tournament mode of the World Cup?
Yes.
3 rounds, qualifying games, right? Quarterfinals, semifinals, finals.
Man.
You just put that into the game. Put unique challenges, accomplishments. If you use a full Norwegian team, you win the tournament with a full Norwegian team like 10 times, whatever, or score this many goals with this team. We need that. I love Division Rivals being in the game. First of all, the rewards need to be way better. That's a fact, okay? But I love that there is a competitive game mode every single day now. I love that. I love that because every other game has that. But the problem with this game is that we don't have a regular game mode. Right? We don't have a regular game mode where you could try out different cards, do different challenges, do different accomplishments, and then be like, oh, dude, I have to play my Division Rivals game. I need to play against comp players to get my rewards, blah, 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 right? They need to revamp Ultimate Team in that way. I feel like they need to do so much personally. I don't know what your thoughts are towards that.
Like with a revamp of the... I just think the thing that I was asking for last year, man, was just a tournament mode, dude. Just something that's a little bit more casual. Like if the Rivals rewards just got a little bit better and maybe a little bit... Here's the problem with Rivals rewards, dude. And like, this is just the honest fact of it, dude, is that there's not much of a difference between the amount of games you win in Division 5 or Division 1 rewards-wise.
There isn't, no. Division 5 arguably could be better, actually.
Like, if it's not really a competitive game mode because nobody really cares all that much unless the guys who really want to play FIFA. Because it's just not rewarding to go finish Division 1 or Division 2 with the amount of stress that you're going to have to go through to do it. That's more for me the problem of it. So I think the rewards need to be better in the higher divisions so people can have that FUT Champions grind where like, okay, I'm going to get another red this week. That's something to grind for, dude. Even if the reds are shit, you still want to grind for it, dude, because an extra red is awesome. Even if it's terrible, you can put it in SBC down the line. You know what I'm saying, dude? So is what it is. It's always nice to get like extra reds or something like that. There's none of that in Rivals. It's just not. It's not, man. There's none of that factor, dude.
Yeah.
And I think the choice between the coins, like, make it hard for us, dude. If you're in Division 1, you know, if you want to leave 2 ultimate packs or 3, maybe make it 3 ultimate packs, put like 180,000 coins. So it's really hard for you to choose. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not hard right now. It's not. You just take the packs because the coins are so bad. You feel like disgusted to take the coins because they're nothing. So you just take
even though the coins could be better. That's the terrible thing.
That's the worst part about it because the coins are so bad and the packs could be worse. You're just hoping on that 1% chance the packs are better. It's
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I agree with that, man. And then I just think we do need tournaments back, dude, because I used to love, bro, just in the weeks, dude, before there was any competitive, dude, I used to just do play of friends, bro. You know, the silver tournaments and stuff. Like,
dude, content-wise, it was perfect. Dude,
I don't watch that too. Like, people want to watch us. That's the thing, dude. I guarantee you right now, like, and this makes it seem cocky. I guarantee you if there was an online tournament, dude, right? Like, a weekly new tournament, and there was a silver one from one nation, if I made a nasty Brazil team and say the listen to me on this, dude, right? So next week, right, there's a silver online tournament, one nationality. If you win the tournament, which is 3 games, right? It's repeatable. Say you win 15,000 coins, 20,000 coins, and you get 1 red player pick from any inform from the nation of the team you played from.
Yes, they don't even need to be amazing cards. Just like
Like, it was the simple thing when they used to run the St. Patty's Day tournaments. At least you felt you were getting something. You had a St. Patty's card.
And those green cards were shit, but we wanted those cards.
Like, imagine you play with a Brazilian team, right? You play with a whole team and then you win. Then you get a shot at packing an informed Neymar or like an informed 81 rated, shitter. It doesn't matter. You're playing for something.
Right.
That's like the thing that has to be re-back and stated. And like, I guarantee you this, dude, if they brought out a tournament like that, even for me, like probably doing a little bit more gameplay than I ever have and streaming it and getting good numbers, I guarantee if they brought out one of those tournaments and I won it, I guarantee you should see the amount of views that would probably get on YouTube if I uploaded highlights and talked over the rewards and everything. You have everything, right? You have a sick potential player pick. You have a gameplay with a team you don't see in Weekend League because it's not meta, quote unquote. Like, that is like the killer thing that there's just shit like that
just seeing you use different players. Because I think as a viewer, when you're watching gameplay, if you just see the same shit over and over again, it's not interesting, right? Because with the online tournament, and this is something that like I talk about all the time. I think for gameplay content, right, Nick? I think for gameplay content, there should be so much gameplay content in this game that you would never finish it. That's because I feel like, for instance, right? Quaresma plays for Besiktas, right? He plays in the Turkish league, whatever, right? If I were to use that league, or I was using Quaresma, right? There should be card differences, not stats. I don't give a fuck about if you change my stats. I just wanna get something cool, right? If I score like 100 goals with Quaresma, the color of the card changes, right? And then it could be different with different tiers of cards. If I score like 1,000 goals with a Super League team from the starting 11 and the subs, I get something for that, like a cool card from that. It doesn't need to be fucking Mbappe's and Ronaldo's. Like, if you gave me a Super League fucking Vida card, Vida is a center back from Besiktas, and you gave me like a stats boost on him, like as if it was like a second inform, but it was a card that you had to play a lot to get, and then it would refresh, and then you would try to get another player from that league, and then another player from that league, and then another player from that league, just through random upgrades from random players. Like, dude, Robinho plays for Sivasspor. He plays for Besiktas here now, but he used to play for Sivasspor. Would it not be cool to get a Robinho card that was like a cam card through playing with a Super League team to unlock a Robinho card? Like, it would always be random. Like, oh my God, I want to try to unlock that new Robinho card that just popped up on my timeline, right? And grind the game. And then they would do challenges like, oh, you have, like, you know how in SBCs you have locked cards, right? In each position and whatnot. They should do that in FIFA, right? Where you have, it doesn't necessarily need to be locked for the starting 11 and subs, but it needs to be league specific. Like, okay, you need to create a Liga NOS and a Liga NOS and an EPL hybrid. And with these locked players in their positions, you need to make a team around that, only from that league, right? And then make challenges like that. And then you only can use that formation. You only use those tactics, because then it would promote people trying out different things, using different things, right? And it would be interesting, because then, dude, as content creators and for people playing the game as casuals, it would be the greatest thing ever, because you would hop in, and especially if the gameplay is good. That's the biggest one, right? But especially if the gameplay is good, you just go on the game like, I wonder what I'm going to try to grind for today. I wonder what type of team I want to make today. I don't want to go on and be like, fuck, man, I gotta use the same team. That would honestly
be so game-changing amounts of the game, bro. If they replaced, or they don't even have to replace draft, dude, right? Like,
no,
if you
draft
made
is the same.
A little bit better, and you just brought out that kind of mode where, like, yes, we want to promote custom tactics. This is the tactics you get. This is your team. Or, hey, here's 5 players. You can draft these 5 players, and this is the team you have to try to play against. If it's restricted for everyone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be any way around dipping around the meta.
Yeah.
Whatever the best players in FIFA are. You're going to have to use whatever the hell you get. And you might give it lucky and build some like hybrid, team that's crazy. And you might play against the top 100 players using a full bronze Irish team or something, like. Yep. And once you enter the draft or whatever, there's no going back. That dude, facts, man.
Dude, there needs to be
Preach
rewards
that.
specific to game modes, right? You should want to. There needs to be a balance between all the game modes. You should want to play division rivals. You should want to play foot champs, and you shouldn't. There shouldn't be like this hindrance thing of like, if I don't play it and I don't win, you feel like shit, because the game is all about winning. If you don't win, you cannot do shit in this game if you don't win. You can't do anything. But it needs to be like a fun process for people to want to hop on, to want to play different games. In drafts, bro, listen, you know how drafts is 15k coins, right? You know how when you win, you will, I swear on my life, I'm 100% in the negative in drafts. I win most of them, but I'm 100% in the negative. 100%, right? I feel like if you were to pay 15k coins, but you're doing certain challenges from the draft, right? And you're unlocking certain things. Even if you lose in the second, the third, or even if you lose in the final and you don't make money back, your challenges would still be building up from playing the draft, right? So if you lose, you would just look at your challenges and be like, okay, at least I scored 5 goals with, like, for instance, if you're using João Moutinho from Wolverhampton, right? If it's João Moutinho, and there's like a challenge where it's like, oh, use João Moutinho in the draft and win so and so amount of games with him, or score so and so amount of goals with him. At some point, you would unlock a special version of his card, because you would do that for every single card in the draft, because it would be unique, right? You would always make different teams because you want to unlock different things. And I feel like that aspect of a video game is very important for FIFA, that they don't have that. When I used to play FIFA 15 and 16, I didn't beg for just that, like that competitive mode, because I wanted a competitive mode like that has a skill rating like it does in CSGO, Overwatch. Always wanted it like that, right? But taking out your casual and making that your only regular game mode was just, it wasn't properly executed. But if you have a balance of people wanting to play foot champs, division rivals, and thing, but if you don't play that one game mode, you don't feel like you're missing out. But yes, you do have to play to get certain things. It would just be interesting. You know what I mean?
I would argue another thing, man. I would argue that EA is doing a lot better of a job this year, man, with using the weekly objectives.
The weekly objectives. What do you mean?
Like putting players available in them.
Okay, so with the weekly objectives, there's certain ones they don't get right, and there's certain ones they do get right.
I was gonna get into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
for instance,
still there's a problem there, but at least there's something.
I literally just saw this right now, and this just made me so happy. So, Team of the Year Vasalico. Score using Serie A Tim players in 12 separate online single match wins to earn an 81 rated Team of the Year nominee Vasalico. That's fucking amazing. That's really good. That's what I want to see, right? But then there was, and you can even get the loan cards. Win 2 squad battles. Once it says squad battles, I just want to fucking cut the shit out of that and just throw it in the fucking trash, right?
Yeah,
that shouldn't be a forced thing. It should be squad battles or regular games, right? But anyways, the content that I was going to talk to you about, the Martinez card, how there was that Martinez card you would get through actually playing on online single matches to unlock him, but you have to use an MLS team. I don't like that they didn't do that the right way. I'll tell you why, right? Because you were still able to put on OP players that weren't from the MLS. Like if you had like Ronaldo and Blanc and Neymar on your bench, you can put those guys on your team from the bench. And I feel like they had to restrict that, bro. They had to make it so it's like, no. Not only is it your starting 11, but it needs to be your bench too. We don't want to see any fucking Ronaldos and Neymars. We want MLS for you to unlock this card. And I think that would have made it better. But once I saw that the people were using like Ronaldos and stuff, I was like, it's dead. It's dead, because people are just going to be putting on these players for them to use. But like I said, man, that Vasalico one, beautiful card to release, right? That's a really good one, but not through online single matches, through online tournament mode. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it would be interesting because
can you sub on? Can you sub on for this Vasalico? You can sub on players, right? But you still need to score.
I'm pretty sure you could sub on players, but it just says you have to score with Serie A players. That's it.
Like I think I'm gonna do it, man. But I agree with you, bro.
It needs to be more restricted. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be more interesting because, like you said, you wanted the Gold Cups back, right? It shouldn't be Gold Cups. It should only be online tournament, because there's a different concept there, right? With Gold Cups, it's 4 rounds. But with the online tournament mode, it's 3 rounds against open matchmaking, So you can face shitters, but if you're using a fucking silver team, you could still have fun, right? You'll still come across people who are using tryhard teams. Absolutely, you would still come across it, right? People are just like that. But the incentive to use different players would be better in online tournament mode than it would be in Think, because imagine as a content creator, you're doing a series, right? Where it's like, you know what? I'm going to try to win the online tournament mode with FC Porto, the FC Porto team. And I want to use that team to win this competition. And as I'm winning this competition, I'm progressively moving towards, you know, that flashback SBC, Iker Casillas?
Yeah.
That's a card personally that I think that's not a card you should unlock through doing an SBC. That's a card you should unlock through playing the fucking game. Ibrahimovic, yeah, SBC, understandable. But Iker Casillas, who is not a meta card in the game, should be unlocked through playing the game. Same thing with David Silva. David Silva was too fucking expensive for a shit card. It's a shit card in the meta this year. But if you have that in online tournament mode and people are like, okay, the challenge is you have to use only Manchester United and Man City players to unlock this David Silva card, boom. That's where the concept would come in, right?
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, don't get me wrong, man. There's certain cards, when they release them in SBCs, it's understandable. I get it. There's certain cards you have to release through SBCs. You can't unlock them through gameplay content. But someone like Iker Casillas needs to be unlocked through gameplay content, because even though he has all those stats, a regular Alisson card is still going to play better than that flashback Iker Casillas, because of the meta. You know what I mean? So I feel like there needs to be like an understanding with that.
I mean, he's terrible, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the Casillas is terrible. I played against him in FUTchamps, and I think he's like, what, 30K? I want to get him, dude.
He's cheap.
Like, I'm a card collector. Like, I want him for my club. No, he's 70K now. Say, what happened?
70K?
Yeah, something happened. Has he always been that price?
Yeah,
no,
chat's saying he's 60, 70K now.
Oh, man. All right, never mind. Well, he's terrible.
He's terrible because he's not tall.
I would get him for a card collector.
As a card collector, of course.
Yeah.
Dude, for me, he plays for my team. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
plays for FC Porto. I want him because of that. You know what I mean? But do I want him in this game because of the way that the menu is set up? No, dude, I don't. I want to be able to collect special versions of certain cards for certain teams. I want to do that. I want to grind, bro. I want to be addicted where I never want to leave my seat. That's what I want, man. I want to unlock players from different.
I used to get that with COD, man, back in the day.
Yeah, dude, Modern Warfare 2. I got Yellow Light of Death on my PlayStation 3 different times because I was borderline addicted to that game.
Yeah.
That's what I want with this game, man.
Facts.
Anything else on your mind, bro, that you wanted to talk about? Gameplay-wise, content-wise?
I think pretty good, to be honest. That's probably what I'm here for. I don't think I really got much else. I'm trying not to complain. I'm trying to be like constructive.
No, dude, brother. You know who I am, bro. I am the complaint, you know? Whatever you want to talk about, man. Yeah. Be my guest. Chat, if you guys have anything you guys want us to talk about, be my guest. Market, we went through the market earlier. That's the podcast's going to be uploaded on YouTube. So don't worry.
Yeah, we just do like questions for like 10 minutes. I got probably 10 or 15 more to get out.
Hell yeah, brother. If you guys have anything you guys want us to talk about, go ahead.
Down for that. Just like run through questions back and forth. If anybody, wow, there's a lot of people watching. Damn.
I think we have over 600. Yeah, it's good, man. Especially during this time of the day, it's very. Dude,
on
very
a
good.
Monday on the Weekend League Hangover.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
You know why though, Nick? It's because it's interesting. It's interesting. No, you know.
Want. I agree.
EA's lack of communication in terms of gameplay, what traits the stats do, etc. Okay, I have something to say about that.
Okay, go.
The Corey and Zaro thing, I hate when people send them bad messages because these guys, they don't work on the gameplay. They don't work. They can only do what they can do. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge these guys. I judge EA as a company, not these two guys though, man. These two guys, I'm not gonna name names, but we had a guy back in the day where he can go. I'm not gonna get, because from past experience, I hated this guy. Okay, but Zaro and Corey, man, these two, we don't have people like this. I still get messages about these two where it's like, you know, yeah, but they have to be responsible from this and that. They know what job they're getting to, guys. I used to work in a retail store. I hated my retail store, but I worked for them. I was an employee for them. You know what I mean? It's like them, dude. They're employees for the company that they work for. So they can only do so much. But, dude, I can't say everything that happens in my DMs, guys. But what I will say to you guys is that the DMs that I get from these guys, I've never gotten before, ever in my life. Like, we're talking to the point where Corey or Zaro and guys in the gameplay team watch my videos. They're looking into the gameplay now. You know why? Because of that fucking delay video that I did. Right? That's why they're like, yo, he makes a good point, because they're looking at the score, Nick, right? And they're like, dude, he's winning 4-0. But they're like, holy shit, he never aimed his thumbstick to the right for like 5 seconds, but his player would still go there. So like, yo, this kid's onto something, right? And dude, I have Sam Rivera following me, and I didn't even know this, right? And even he's saying like, yo, like you know, I can't say everything, chat, but I never had this before. Where these guys, when we say they're looking into it now, they are. But Nick, and this is something I'm going to tell you, bro, I really don't think it's a server thing. I think it's a game coded where it's random. I think it's something's broken in the game.
I agree with you.
It's game coded because, dude, you take a touch and the touches are different. Like the drag touch, like those videos that I put on Twitter, like, again, you notice the gameplay is good and bad just from kickoff, right? And just the drag touches and the general feel of the game, that's not because of delay or because of the servers or because of unnatural feel. It's the game mechanics that are literally changed, right? So are they looking into it nowadays more than before? Absolutely, man. The relationship I have with these guys nowadays, and I've seen people on the forums and Reddit saying that the content creators don't have as big of an influence. I'm going to tell you guys this right now, man. Nowadays, I 100% do, bro. I went to their studios and I didn't, but now I do, man. Go ahead, Nick.
I've spoken as well, man, to these guys, like, straight up, dude, in DMs, and they've said they watch like the majority of my streams when they're at work.
Yeah, like, they do.
They're using it to look at their market and see what the hell they got to do to make it down, or to whatever it is, man. Screw people over, make the game better. They're doing it to get information. They're watching everyone, dude.
Yeah, dude. When I was still following people on Twitter, in terms of the market, Yasir was like, haha, you guys thought we were gonna do this, but we screwed you. And you know what? He was right, because people wanted to exploit the market, and he's like, you want to exploit it? Yeah, okay, let's just do this then, you know?
Yeah.
So the communication that we have with those guys, like it's heaps and bounds different. And I think Nick can agree to this. Like, he probably talks a lot about the market stuff with them. He talk like Ned probably is in their DMs, Nick's probably in their DMs, and they definitely look at certain things. They're so questionable. Like, I even mentioned one of the DM'd one of the EA guys, and I told him this guy needs to delete what he just said because it's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life, and he actually did. Right? It was in regards to the finishing, and I saw it from one of the EA guys saying like, oh, but he should be missing that. I'm like, no. He has to delete that because that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. He's literally in front of the goal, arrow facing it, and he misses it. No, you gotta delete that. And they do it now, man, because they're like, oh, he kind of, he has a point, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's in regards to the EA guys, man. Like, I don't know if you have anything to add to that in terms of like your relationship with them nowadays than what it was before.
No, I do think to an extent it's a little fake, but I'm never going to complain about having two guys actually listen, because there's never been people really that we can see visually listening or communicating with us. And I think it's good. I still think it's improving. I think like every week it's getting better. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about that one. I think they're definitely watching and listening. I also think that they don't actually do much with the game.
No, I think there's definitely in two ways. Yeah,
their roles at EA are big, man. So I think a lot of people feel like almost like these guys are sitting next to the top dogs at EA every day, man. And I just think they're just part of this company, and they're filling a role of kind of just managing a community and like getting thoughts to pass on to a team. But just because they say that they're passing on something to a team, everyone's like, oh my God, EA's fixing everything. Dude, passing on something to a team means that we're sending the team a tweet that you said, and most likely the team is going to look at it and say, you know what? I feel like we're doing this right. We don't need to change this.
Yeah, because it's still going to be down to them. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's down to them, man. And like, that's the thing at the end of the day. It's almost like then these people get mad and send death threats to these two dudes. And it's like, brother, their roles are not what you think they are. So you need to chill out, because you're not speaking to the dude who's coding all this shit, man. That's the other thing that, like, I'm not cutting them slack. I'm just being honest with sometimes how the community like reacts to some things saying they're going to be done and then they aren't done. It's like you can't be that mad because you're not speaking to the dude who's like the alpha in charge. So
Yeah, you're not talking like to the higher ups. Like I said, my problems is more with the higher ups than it is with the specific employees that work there, because the employees are just going to be employees. Like, hey, if they say, yo, we're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. There's nothing else you can really do about it, right?
Yep.
What's both your thoughts on weekend league rewards? Do we need a buff for higher finishes? Nick was arguing about top 100 needing to be better. I think just
guaranteed coins needs to be better.
Yeah.
Like pack weight is pack weight, and the packs right now are fine. Honestly, that's a lot of 100K packs. The ultimate pack is freaking huge. And I think it needs to go back to 81 plus, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think there needs to just be guaranteed coins every week. Nobody looks forward to coins in weekend league.
Right.
If top 100s were like, yes, I just got top 100 and now I get 350K guaranteed before packs, I think it would be X amount more happy to get top 100. So that's what
I think so my opinion in regards to that, I think top 100 it definitely needs to be better. But my opinion with FUTchamps rewards is that I actually think if the market wasn't set in a certain way in terms of like an actual gameplay content perspective, I think that it's pretty good. Except for the higher tiers, because the higher tiers there's no more of a guarantee, because dude, a person like you said in gold 3, gold 2 can get fucking messy because there's no rating limit, or what was it, gold 1, gold 2? Which one was where there's no rating limit?
Gold 3, it's 14 wins.
Right, so if you get 14 wins, like I have my friend who got 20 wins and he got Lionel Messi, and I never saw a single top 100 guy playing the weekend league. I didn't see one person get Messi. Like,
I agree.
It's that little difference between the two is kind of dumb. Do I think that the rewards in terms of a gameplay content aspect is pretty good? Yeah, I do. I think they're not good enough for the top ones, but for the regular ones, even if you finish on 20 wins, 14 wins, 16 wins, it's worth the time. Is it worth the stress? That's debatable, because I don't think it is. But is it worth the time spent on those specific games? Yeah, I think the rewards are pretty decent.
What else, chat?
That's just luck that we should get more coins. Anything else other than the FUTchamps rewards, guys? Because my boy Nick probably had something to do earlier today. You streaming today, brother?
Nah, I'm taking the day off, dude.
I'm taking the day off? Got you, man. The green connections are a smokescreen. The real connection is hidden. I wish they showed
I got like 10
latency.
minutes, by the way. We're right now.
Okay.
Don't worry.
In regards to connection, chat, if you're playing in green bar, if your gameplay shit, that's not the green bar connection. That's is it kind of hidden? Yes, because I use a NetDuma router, and there was one game where I went in and it was a 4 latency bar, it was green, and my ping to the actual, because we only have one server, so in draft, division rivals and FUTchamps, we only connect to the servers in California. That's the only one that we have. In Fortnite, they have one in probably New York or something. Like, I know they have 2 different ones around Toronto, basically, right? But in FIFA, there's only that one area, right? So I've connected to that server sometimes and had 80 ping against my opponent. I've actually connected to servers in Africa, in division rivals, in South America.
What?
Dude, the matchmaking is fucked in this game. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes your gameplay is going to feel.
How do you see that?
I have a NetDuma router, so dude, I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you what it looks like. This is the only game that does this, by the way, is right. So I'll pull up my screen right now. So basically, it's
how the hell did you?
So I don't know. The connection I got to one time was over here. One time, I had one over here one time. Then in the UK, they have one around this general area right here, and I've connected to that one sometimes too. And it's completely fucked. It's broken. The one that we connect to, chat, for FIFA is the one right here. This is not where I live. This is just for me to only match in North America. I don't have GeoFilter on, so I don't use it anyways, because it's server related. So it doesn't matter if I match up with this one server here. It doesn't matter if I have this or not. This is more for peer-to-peer, right? If I play online head-to-head. But I don't really use this router for FIFA because it's all servers now. But if we match up to this one server here, right, there's potential to match up with people from Mexico. There's potential to match up for people from South America. But in Fortnite, they have 2 different servers right here. So this is the general vicinity of where you're always going to match up with people. But if you're over here, you have all of this shit to worry about right here. And sometimes even this here. Sometimes these guys over here match up here. I faced up I faced one time Nick, a guy that had like a full icon team, top 100 guy, right? That was facing me, and I was playing on the North American server, and I was playing a European dude, and he matched up to my server, and you could tell his players were garbage because he matched up to my server. You know what I'm saying? So it's
mad.
It's crazy, man. This game is it's crazy.
That's just like hard to believe. That's so crazy.
Please tell me that's not your IP address. No, that's so for NetDuma, every router has an IP that you go to. So if you have like a Linksys or whatever, they have that's the link everyone uses the same link. It's not the IP address. I'm not that dumb, Chad. I've streamed for like 5 years, you know. But yeah, with that router, that's how I see like what servers we connect to. That's the home link. Yes, that's the home link for everybody. That's just the website you go to when you have a specific router. That's what you connect to. Other than inconsistent gameplay, do y'all think it's possible that your players play better in some games than others? Well, that is inconsistent gameplay. That's not. That's what it is, man.
But that's totally a thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad because this year, dude, to try a card, you have to try it out in like 2 different modes and give it 3 games of game mode.
Yeah.
To really know how a card is, to get him in a good game and see, okay, is this dude good? Because I tried out Team of the Year Modric, dude, in Rivals last week, and then I played against him in a good gameplay game on Weekend and League, and I was like, oh my god, this is not what I just used.
Yeah, it's different. Like the cards will feel different all the time. Like there's gonna be certain cards you're not gonna like in certain gameplay, but when the gameplay is good, dude. Nick, I'll even make the argument that when gameplay is good, almost all the cards are really good. Like everyone has their own attributes that make them like really sick. But people like Modric, you can utilize their stats more when it feels good, because you can feel the pace, you can feel the dribbling, you can feel the quickness with him, so on and so forth. And it's the same for the other person because their defenders will equally feel as good, right? So they can defend properly, move left and right, whatever, right? Switching is the biggest one. You guys complain about switching. If your switching is shit, it's because your gameplay is shit. Because gameplay, when the gameplay is good, the switching is perfect. It's literally, there's no problem with it. Skill moves and pace. Skill moves is not bad in good gameplay. In bad gameplay, it's irrelevant. But in good gameplay,
is not bad this year, to be fair.
Yeah,
man.
it's good. In good gameplay, it's good.
It's usable.
Yeah. Yeah, Maradona is a very good example, Oni. Like Maradona, I've used him in FIFA 18 and draft one time, and I played him once in good gameplay and once in bad gameplay. He's garbage in bad gameplay. Like you just can't utilize him. It's the same for me personally. It's the same with Messi. Like Messi in good gameplay, oh my god, holy fuck, that guy dribbles so fast, man. And Neymar's good and bad or good. It doesn't matter what fucking gameplay you have. That card is stupid, bro. Ask Nick about the new promo. I mean, I don't know about the new promo, but I don't know what he means by that.
I think it's going to be record breaker cards.
Oh, those ones, right? Yeah, the conversation was that he was saying it was
or ones to watch. I think it's record breaker though.
Mm-hmm.
Not winter upgrades, boys.
Winter upgrades? Oh, they didn't do that yet.
Yeah, it's in February.
I just took that in.
But the thing has like arrows, so everyone thinks it's upgrades. But it's not. Yeah. I believe it's not. I'm like 90% sure it's not.
They should definitely have.
People are talking about the down arrows, and I'm trying to explain to them. They got rid of fucking downgrades last year for a reason, because nobody opens packs when a card gets downgraded. There's no value.
Exactly.
Like it was the stupidest thing that EA had ever done. So thank God they got rid of it last year, and it's not like they're gonna bring it back. It's not like they're missing out on pack sales because they're not downgrading players.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to open up packs because Phil Jones got downgraded. Let me go get his even slower card.
That's so facts, though.
Like, they did something right with that last year. They're not going to bring that back.
Yeah. That's so true, though. Yo, I want to get Phil Jones.
Let me go give you my money for that.
Oh, my God. You can't compare skills in good and bad gameplay. Bad gameplay is a lottery. Never know which action is getting processed. Yeah, dude, I do heel-to-heel flicks in bad gameplay, and they'll do the Burba spin. I know. Trust me, chat. I'll do drag backs, and they'll do the no-touch dribble. They'll literally go around the fucking ball before doing the drag back. I know what you guys are talking about. Chat, come on, Come on. Eccentric Meat with 100 bits. He says, I live in the Midwest US. I only have quick, responsive, smooth gameplay, maybe 2 out of 30 games. Am I just screwed until EA put out more servers? I've even done port forwarding and it barely helped. Dude, I'm going to say something to you guys, and I hope you guys really understand this, okay? Good gameplay, I don't think is only server related. I've literally played co-op seasons with one of my friends, and we matched up to an African server, and we had good gameplay. It wasn't, when I say good gameplay, it is it's the way the players feel, the speed of the game, the way that they're moving left and right. Was there delay? Absolutely. But good gameplay and like delay is 2 different things, because if you have delay, that is bad gameplay, right? Because you can have 25 millisecond ping against someone, but your gameplay can still be shit because the gameplay is shit, not because of the connection between you and your opponent, right? So I have to explain that because, again, I've matched up with an African server, but I could still tell the gameplay was good even with the 2-second delay. I could still feel it because the way the players were moving around the pitch in general, right? So it's not, when people say it's completely server related, it's not, because it's something's fucked up in the game coding, because they would have fixed it by now, I'm pretty sure, if they knew exactly what it was. So just I had to bring that up.
Facts.
We just come out facts.
Handicap. You don't believe in it, right?
No. There's no. Listen, chat. Please. There's no handicap.
All right. So there's no momentum. Take my bronze players off. Should I take my bronze players off?
Bronze players is bullshit.
Dude, can you understand? Can I tell you why I do it?
Placebo.
All right.
It just makes you comfortable.
A little confidence, a little bit. But
yes.
There's something I want to tell you why I do it, because it's not a thing, but I feel like it does it, so I do it. So I only use 3 subs. Like, I know you can only use 3, but I don't even like have to decide. I have 3 subs that I use, one in the midfield, one in the defense, and one is like a flex. So I only use 3 anyways, so I put bronzes there because of the team rating lowering. I don't believe in handicap. I just the potential that if the fucking 1% chance I get an easier matchup because my team rating is too lower, then fuck it, I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's the reason I do it. There's no way in game it changes anything.
Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. Chat, the one thing I'm gonna say, right, in regards to bronze benching, the only reason why I do it is because you guys know I complain about gameplay all the time. My chats always tell me your gameplay shit because you don't bronze bench. So that's the only reason why I do it. It's the only fucking reason. But would I have a gold bench? Yes. Because listen, man, I've had gold benches and had my gameplay to be fucking incredible from kickoff. I can see it. Brother. Like, I've had a gold bench, and then I have a bronze bench, and my gameplay's still shit. So it's just not that. You know what I feel like it is, Nick? So this is my prediction after complaining and researching this. I've done anything people ask me to do. I'm fucking 3 years ahead of them, okay? Here's the thing. When it comes to the fucking gameplay, right? If you guys feel momentum and handicap, that's just your game being shit. But listen, can your gameplay change during the game? Yes. Just the other day, I was playing until the 25th minute, and my gameplay was decent. It wasn't good or great, but it was decent. But after 25th minute, I was like, oh, cool. Now my players are taking all these bullshit emphasis touches now, right? I don't know where the fuck this came from, but it started happening again. Yes, that one. But that's not, guys, that's not a handicap or momentum change. It's the gameplay just changing. That happened. Dude, I could be winning a game 3-0, 4-0, and my gameplay will turn good. I've had that happen to me in the past. I'll be winning, and then it'll turn even better, right? So it's just fucking broken, chat, right? And whether it's because of two different reasons. Here's the 2 different reasons I'm going to give you guys. Because, Nick, I really need to say this because I've explained this to people in the past a lot, right? Nick, I've tried it in kickoff. In FIFA, I have a video even on it, right? On FIFA, I think it was 17, right? I streamed for a full day, right? 10 hours, won every single game, but I didn't like a single game of the gameplay because it was slow, sluggish, blah, blah, blah. And I told my chat, I went into kickoff to test it. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to test it in the kickoff. I want to see if it feels the same in the kickoff. And it did, Nick. It did, right? So I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to end the stream and I'm just gonna go. But Nick, I remember I was playing with Barcelona. This is the day, whatever FIFA that Dani Alves was still with Barcelona, that's the day I tried it, okay? And I had people on my Discord and everything. I left my console on, and this is what I played on Xbox One. I went upstairs. got something. I ended my stream like 10 o'clock ish. By the way, when the gameplay turns good at nighttime, it's a fucking coincidence, okay? Because I don't think it's strictly server related, because how the fuck does your offline change? But anyways, I left the game in. I was just in kickoff. I paused it, like 2 minutes into the game. I just paused it. I went upstairs. Nick, I swear to God, man, I came back downstairs and I'm like, oh fuck, I left my console on. I resumed the kickoff game, Nick, and my gameplay was good. The same gameplay that was shit when I started it turned good when I came back to it 2 hours later. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? My Dani Alves is moving like a god now. I can dribble, the left stick responsiveness, the switching, everything is good now. And I told the people on my Discord, I'm like, guys, go try out the game right now. And I want to see if, I didn't even tell them if it was good or bad. I wasn't freaking out. I was like, can you guys just go into kickoff right now and test out the gameplay? And they went in there like, Inception, what the fuck just happened? I never had this gameplay online before in my life. What is this? And I never said if it was good or bad, but they were freaking out too, because they're like, bro, it literally just changed. Like, what the fuck? And offline, guys. And offline. The game's coding is fucked up. And you know what it could have been, chat? You know how back in the day when they used to say like dynamic difficulty change or the emotions that your players would feel, or all that shit that they added into the game? I think that is somewhat, it's two different things. I think it's either game speed, the slow, normal, and fast being I think it's broken. I think that could be a thing too. I think it's broken between the slow, normal, and fast, because you can play on normal speed and it'll still feel really slow if the gameplay chooses to be like that, right? So I think it could be broken in that, or it's just somewhat fucked up in the gameplay coding from them adding shit in the past, and then it just fucked with the game in general. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, that's true. I played kickoff this year. It's trash.
Yeah.
Like, the gameplay's awful, and then that makes me so not believe in fucking server. I think it's coded into the game almost, maybe to hide whatever the bad fucking mechanics are. I have no idea, but it's awful. Like, I was playing with a buddy. I was like, what is this, dude? We were playing, and I was like, dude, this is the worst gameplay I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, you can go to his house and you'll experience that too.
We're fucking offline. I'm like, dude, what?
Yep.
Like, I thought this was all weekend league and rivals, and I'm like, nope. It actually might feel better, and that gameplay before was really shitty.
It's not the game engine, chat. I experienced it in FIFA 15. FIFA 15 had a different engine. I experienced it in FIFA 14, and they had a different engine. When I used to play FIFA 14, I thought it was just like a connection issue. But then when I really played FIFA and FIFA 15, I was like, no, this is what, chat, I have videos. I'm like, oh, is good versus bad gameplay a thing? Nick, I was the only one that ever talked about it back in the day. Everyone thought I was fucking crazy. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, like, this is
some psycho lunatic.
Yeah, dude. Like, they thought I was fucking crazy. I'm like, guys, I'm telling you, this is a thing, right? And it's not the end.
Do you think it's been like added in from EA to like maybe hide some of the problems with this game? Like,
do I think it's been added in?
Yeah, like is it a program thing to actually slow down the game via delay, so that some of the movements that they haven't mastered or put into the game properly yet are not like full on like exposed?
So my thoughts towards that, yeah. My thoughts towards that from like back in the day, I would say this for back in the day, is that I feel like potentially they made that a thing just for you to always be switching your team, right? Yes, because they want you to spend money to get the better players.
While you're talking about that, I would like, there's how many people in here? 700 people. Wow.
Yeah.
To all the people that are listening tonight, tell me, look, we all know about inconsistent gameplay. Everybody understands it. And I don't talk about gameplay as much in my stream. I talk about it more than I have recently. Tell me about any one of you guys in here right now. How was your gameplay last weekend? Not this weekend, the weekend before last weekend. So we're talking the weekend before Team of the Year. How was your gameplay? Be completely honest. Rate it how it was the whole year. And this is what you were just talking about. Fucking awful. So here's the deal. I will tell you guys right now, like when I had my 28-2 weekend, I had 25 games of amazing. Like it was perfect. Everything was fine. And I'll take that, dude, all day, especially with this game. Here's the problem, which I was in a big theory of, dude. Everybody around the fucking world last weekend, Inception, had awful gameplay. It wasn't just me. Everybody, dude. People were like, it was the week before Team of the Year, and people were ready to quit FIFA, dude. They were like, this is awful. Dude, Does that not make so much sense to you that it would be terrible the weekend before the biggest money promo of the year? Because people sell their teams because they feel like their team is now shit because their players are performing terribly, even if they have icons. So they sell their teams because they think that, oh, my team is bad, I need team of the years, and they go open fucking packs all weekend.
Yeah.
Does that not sound like a marketing scheme to you?
It sounds like it can be a marketing thing, but
I'm not accusing it.
No. We're not accusing it, but we're bringing it up, as a potential thing.
That sounds crazy saying that, but I'm serious.
Here's my thoughts towards it. I think that when it comes to gameplay and consistencies, I really, and I'm just gonna always be like true to this. I really think that I hate people who say or they're like, we gotta wait until the weekend to see if it's good. No. If you say that, your opinion is thrown out the fucking window. When a patch is put out, that's when you test it. Now we're at the weekend, because here's my problem, Nick. When I complain about gameplay, it's not about results. I don't like when someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, I got good results, so now my gameplay is good. No, you can go fuck yourself, okay? You can go fuck yourself, because that's not what inconsistent gameplay is. We are talking about just gameplay being different, okay? Here's the thing. This conspiracy that we're bringing up, is it a potential thing? Yes. But then you guys need to understand, man. When you get Team of the Year cards, or when you get good cards, yeah, your rare gold cards, they're fun to use in regular gameplay. But have you guys ever fucking used Team of the Years and Primes in your team in good gameplay? Oh, buddy. Your game will go from fucking here to here in a heartbeat, bro. Yeah. Oh, God. Nick. Nick, Ronaldo in good gameplay, literally unstoppable, man.
Dude, you have
literally
to try this Neymar.
Fucking unstoppable. Bro, Neymar is good in bad gameplay. He's the only... Bro, Ronaldo...
Yeah, he's the only...
Ronaldo is okay in bad gameplay, but Neymar still plays the same, bro. He doesn't change.
Dude, it's crazy. I remember when you were watching my games the other weekend, and that one game you looked at the bad gameplay, Neymar was the reason that I won the game 2-1.
Yeah.
Still scoring in the bad gameplay.
Yeah.
On the green times. Everyone else was hitting posts. Shit's nuts, dude.
Yeah, Neymar is significant. Neymar is good in whatever the gameplay is, man. He's just that type of card.
Yo, I wanted to ask you, have you so you play a lot of drafts, so you've tried most players.
Yes.
Have you drafted Prime Maldini?
No.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
He's dog shit this year.
I played with him. Can't give an opinion on him. I played with him with bad gameplay. I can't give an opinion. Yeah.
It's fine. He's bad. Like I used him. Like I'm finding Rio to be way better. I don't because I used Maldini last year for 500. And last year he was the fucking goat. Him and Ramos, they were the players. Like I think we're gonna see a lot of these events, dude. It's gonna be fucking Ramos and Rio or Ramos and Varane, dude.
No, but at the events, it was. I think what pro players are probably gonna do right now is I think they're probably gonna, just from seeing the cards that's been released, I think they're gonna probably. So the Team of the Year Ramos, right?
Yeah,
I think what people will do is they're going to do they're going to use like a 5 at the back, because here's the thing with Ramos, right? His rare gold card, if you upgrade that rare gold card, you could play that card.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, you could play him anywhere, bro.
The fakest card stats, dude, I've ever seen. It's nuts.
Yeah. So with his card, I think what they're going to do in the competitive is I think they're going to start off a 5 at the back, and then they're going to switch him to CDM. They're not going to use him as a center back. I think they're going to use him as a CDM. Some people will use him as a center back, absolutely. But I think that a lot of people are going to be using him as a CDM, absolutely. 100%.
The thing is, the reason why he has a potential to be up there with Vieira, if not a little bit better, the way he plays on the ball, he's not stiff like Vieira. Vieira is that's always been my problem with Vieira. Is in bad gameplay, he is so stiff and stuck on the ball. So he still will do the defensive work. But if you're a possession player and trying to build out, he's awful in bad gameplay.
Yeah.
So that's the deal with this Ramos because of the agility, dude. I'm wondering if he's going to be because I use him at center back and he literally plays like you're playing with fucking Xavi out of the back, dude.
Yeah, so the balance is supposed to be, when you have the stats you have to look at when it comes to stuff like that, is you have to look at acceleration, sprint speed with agility, right? So that's where you see the transitioning left and right. And the thing about Ramos's card is that they boosted his agility, balance, acceleration, and sprint speed on that Team of the Year a lot. Even if they did not touch his defensive stats and his physical stats, those 4 stats being improved is why he's so good in the game, right? Patrick Vieira, the thing about Patrick Vieira, and this is something I explain to people all the time. I don't know why I keep saying that, but yeah. Anyways, Patrick Vieira, right? Even if the gameplay is shit and he feels shittier, he's still going to be better than all the CDMs in this game.
Mm-hmm.
If you use Lerma, you use Fabinho, you use Conte, you use Pogba, he's still going to be better than those cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing that Nightwatch, the competitive player, the thing that he was telling me, he's like, the thing that people do not understand is that when you're using a full icon team, right, or you're using players that have Ronaldo and all that stuff, yeah, your Ronaldo is going to feel like a Rashford. Your Ronaldo's going to feel like a Martial. Your Patrick Vieira is going to feel like a Fabinho. But a Heung-min Son is going to feel like a fucking Arnautovic. Your Fabinho is going to feel like a bronze card. It doesn't only work one way where your good players get downgraded to the level of the rare golds. No, the rare golds get downgraded too in terms of the general feel of the game. It doesn't only work one way when you have a good team and the other person doesn't, and they bring it down to the same level. No, your players, your top tier players are being brought down to the level, but then these players are being brought down to the level too. It doesn't only work like one way, right? So I think that was important to say. People have been wondering why I haven't gotten Conte in my team. I haven't gotten Conte in my team because my gameplay is always shit, and Conte for me is garbage and bad gameplay. Because he's so small, he doesn't do anything in the team, right? But dude, Conte on good gameplay,
he's insane.
Holy fuck, man, that card is amazing.
The gold card is ridiculous, dude.
Bro, he's everywhere.
When the gameplay is good, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
I've never seen Conte be so OP in FIFA, dude.
Yeah, he's everywhere. I just can't use him because my gameplay is always shit. I can't. It's impossible.
And dude, guys, here's the deal, man. With players, dude, it's like a very big part of it is preference with FIFA, dude. Like, do what works for you. There is a certain meta that you have to stick in to do well, but don't just use what a pro is using because you think it's best for you. There's going to be play styles and players that play towards how you play. Can I give you an example? Some fucking reason last year, dude, I played Baby Blanc over fucking Prime Vieira. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I did because he worked better for me. Yeah. And I'm not going to upgrade some shit that's fucking on crack. The card was crazy.
Yeah.
So, I on stat-wise, Vieira had plus 10s in defensive. And I think he had, I mean, obviously, they're the same height. I don't know what he had or something else. But, dude, just gameplay last year-wise, like, yes, I'm obsessed with this card and I talk about it and we joke around about it. But real talk, man, like, my stream literally had to convince me in April to finish the Prime Vieira SBC because I literally didn't want to do him because of this card.
Right.
And dude, you know what I ended up doing? I used Vieira for a little bit, dude, but I put Blanc right back in the team because I was struggling last year with Vieira because gameplay for me last year was always so bad. I've had better consistent gameplay this year than last year. I was getting stuck on the ball, man. And last year's FIFA played at such a fast pace at times, dude. Like fast, like off the kickoff, it would just be going, dude. Like, especially because you had the driven pass being a meta, the RBA.
The driven pass instant shot meta.
Yes, dude. Like that last year made the gameplay so quick that at times when Vieira would get like stuck in bad gameplay, I would really struggle.
Yeah.
That's like the thing, man. I would just say like use players that work for you.
Like, I agree with you though, because I remember when I played FIFA last year, I had the same thing because I think it was last year or 2 years ago. I had Patrick Vieira in the team. And bro, Patrick Vieira on good gameplay, fucking it, that guy's everywhere, bro. You can't get past him. But in bad, I was like, yo, this guy's just not doing it for me. And then I put Laurent Blanc in his position. And it's, you know what's crazy about Laurent Blanc is that this is the thing that sucks about FIFA. If the gameplay was always good, it'd be awesome. Listen, man, Blanc was just not as good as Vieira in good gameplay. But Blanc was better than Vieira in bad gameplay. It's fucking weird, man.
Games were fucking bad gameplay. Why I was using him.
Yeah.
And he's 3 million. He was 2 million coins cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's really weird. You go from 95% back to 86. Well, the 86 is trash, man, because of the work rate.
Medium, right?
Yep.
Yeah, chat. That's why Fabinho is not it yet. If Fabinho was medium high, Fabinho would be a good meta CDM. But because he's medium, his positioning on the pitch makes you just literally want to grab him and just rip the card in half, man. Because
that's why so many people ask me, they go, Nick, why do you play Ballack at CDM and you're fucking high? He's like one of the only center mids that's fucking icon AIDS tall and not Patrick Vieira.
Yeah.
And I understand he has an insane long shot, but I'd rather play Blanc at right center mid, the baby, because he's actually good at finishing in the box. He's crazy. I've scored 3-star yellows with him. Finesses outside the box, they go in. because he's capable and he's high, so he's going up more and back more. That's why he's valid as CDM.
Yeah.
It's very simple, just because of the work rates. And I would argue this, man. Like that Dani Alves card to me, I've played with him. He is high-low, but he's the most effective Dani Alves I've ever seen in a FIFA before.
Yes, because his pace works out. So the thing is, right, like I said,
can you explain like why?
Yeah. Specific stats. So people never look at these things, but you always have to look at these things, right? So even Marcelo's the same thing. With the way that the meta works nowadays is that if your player has the agility, balance, speed, or sprint speed and acceleration, if he has that to balance out the work rate, your player will no longer play like a high-low work rate. He will play a high medium, and a high medium is acceptable in FIFA nowadays, right? So with Marcelo's new card, with Dani Alves' new card, those cards don't play like high lows anymore. They play like high mediums. If you look at their cards in general, go use a rare gold card Marcelo, go use a rare gold card Dani Alves. I guarantee you in 2 games you would sell them because their work rates made them terrible positioning wise, right? But the cards nowadays, they have specific stats that make up for that work rate, that makes their work rate feel different now, right? It's very, very different. Like a Blaise Matuidi could be better than Fabinho in this game. Yeah, he has high attacking, but he also has more of an urgency to push back because of the high defensive. Fabinho does not have high defensive, right? So, dude, with Marcelo's card, use him as a fucking CDM if you want to. Have a guy that has pace, the physical, the defending, the everything. He has everything. He has the skill moves, the shooting, everything, right? You can hit fucking finesse shots with him in a CDM position because that card coming back and moving forward with that pace and that stamina, because you guys know, man, with the team of the year cards, right? They give these guys fucking stamina boost, man. Like if you look at his team of the year, right? 99 stamina. Look at this card. It's perfect. 76 shooting or finishing with 94 shot power, being played as a fullback, CDM. I wouldn't say necessarily as a striker, but that is good enough for him to be fucking incredible, right? And that's why people are using him now as a CDM, because he just has the right stats for that, right? Like if you look at high-low work rated players in general, if you ever use people like Patrick Van Aanholt, Nick, or you use anyone like fucking just people with just like a high medium work rate but not good enough cards, even Alex Tellez's regular card. Alex Tellez's regular card is terrible. It's not I wouldn't say it's terrible, but he doesn't have the right stats yet to make his work rates acceptable for how he plays. Because I don't know if you noticed, but the meta this year, your fullbacks always push up and it allows the person to make the Y pass. I hate that EA added this because it makes crossing a random feature in the game more effective, but it's actually an in-game mechanic now where your fullbacks push out of position, they push up without you doing anything, and it allows the person to make a Y pass on the side or a through ball pass on the side, and it's really annoying. So that's why it's very important to have these players like Marcelo, like Dani Alves, that has the stats to make up for the fact that yes, they pushed up, but they will fucking push back, because defensive AI in terms of running is more effective than an attacker with the ball at his feet. Even if he's using the right stick push, like you're pushing the ball forward and you're chasing after it, a defender will still catch up to you because they don't have to push the ball. It's just the way that the game mechanics work this year.
Yeah. The recovery speed on the AI this year is insane.
Yes. It's crazy. Crossing to Ibra will be
I do still find manual.
So go ahead, you cut out a little bit.
I do still find manual defending in certain moments this year to be very necessary.
It's necessary in certain areas, but you don't get rewarded near enough for it.
No.
The slide tackle blocks that they do and the standing tackle blocks that they do.
Bullshit, man. I saw one of your gameplay analysis, dude, on like something that should have been a goal from a pro player, and just the AI completely slide tackle blocked it, and I was like, what the fuck?
It's like I told you, Nick. I have like the thing with EA is that if they take opinions from people in regards to gameplay, they need to take the opinions from an unbiased point of view. They can't see it and be like, okay, like last year or FIFA 18. Nick, FIFA 18 pre-patch, the potential that game had. I asked my chat, anyone when I played that game, ask any one of the hardcores in my stream when I was playing that game. I didn't complain, bro. Was there things wrong with the game, and was the gameplay still inconsistent? Yes, I would still fight for inconsistent gameplay during that year. But you know what the thing about FIFA 18 pre-patch was, Nick, that I explained to people all the time? And everyone, I don't care what anybody says, everyone was complaining about it. But I was like, guys, Please get used to the game first before complaining. I'm not gonna lie, there was three main things they had to fix with that game, right? But they have to get it from people who are not looking at it from a biased point of view. Because, dude, I fucking lost games like 3-2, 4-2, but it was because the guy's finishing and the way he broke down my team was just better. There was three things they had to fix in that game, okay? One, there was a goalie animation that was broken when the ball was shot directly at them, right? So when the ball was shot directly at them, first of all, you didn't deserve to score it, because if you shot the ball directly at the goalkeeper, it's because your angle wasn't good enough. You didn't do the right angle to shoot, right? Because the finishing, FIFA 18 pre-patch finishing was single-handedly, I will not have an argument with a single person about this. It was the most authentic and it was the best finishing I've ever seen in any FIFA ever. FIFA 15 was just consistency. The goalies were shit, so you can score a consistent, get an angle, tap it right under their arms. But in FIFA 18 pre-patch, the goalies had an animation that when you scored, and a 1v1 from a good angle, it made you feel good about yourself because this finishing was very... Dude, I can chip shot. I was able to fucking chip shot in FIFA 18 pre-patch, and then that just went away. But yes, goalie animations from the shot directly at them was broken. The switching was because of inconsistent gameplay, so that's why it was so shit. But yes, the switching was shit. They needed to fix that. The biggest one, right? The two biggest ones, and this one is for compensation of the community. A little bit of defensive AI wouldn't have hurt. I'm not gonna... A little bit of it, not as much, not as drastic as me and you both know, and the community knows as much as they did. A little bit of it wouldn't have hurt. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with your players making the standing tackles, right, in certain areas, right? But the fucking this one thing, bro, the acceleration of the defenders needed to be a little bit better, because there was a huge misbalance with the defenders and the attackers not being... Because attackers will always have an advantage over a defender, but the difference was here with the attacker and the defenders was over here. But it needed to be here with the defenders and the attackers to be over here. Because attackers, no matter what, chat, you have the ball at your feet. You know what you want to do with the ball, right? But the defender needs to predict what you want to do. So the balance needed to not be like this. It needed to just, instead of it being down here, it needed to be up here. So the acceleration when you ended up choosing a player needed to be better. But guys, that was it. If they did that into the game, yeah, they still had to fix inconsistent gameplay because it was still a thing. But the bad gameplay in that game was still acceptable. You know why? Because the defending was more manual. You had to choose, you had to decide, blah, blah, blah. But when you went inside the box from finishing... Oh my god, like literally, guys, I scored with fucking Benjamin Mendy from good angles, man. And that made me happy because I got rewarded for deciding to make my fullback push up and exploit that space in the side and to be able to score that opportunity. And it made me happy because I was able to score different goals. Finesse shots around the goalkeeper, my players did outside the foot finesses, driven shots across goal, driven shots on the near post, right? It didn't make the goalies completely irrelevant. It just made it so that when you got into good angles from finishing, you would score the opportunities. I'm not talking about the shit angles. That's the ones, there were certain ones they had to fix, and I mentioned that, right? But it was the ones where they were in good angles. Man, it was fucking fun, man. I was scoring, bro, when I scored chip shots, I remember freaking out in my chat. I'm like, guys, I'm scoring chip shots in FIFA. In fucking FIFA. Like, this is a PES thing, and I'm scoring chip shots in FIFA because of the way that the goalie committed towards you when they're like, because every goalie does the same thing. They dive to the floor, unless you're a top-class goalkeeper when you stay on your feet and you go dive to the side, right? But you could still risk a penalty with that. But it was so fucking cool to just score in different ways, you know? And I think when the community, and this is true, guys, whether people want to agree with this or not, when the community complained that they were conceding too many goals, I played 200 games before that patch, and I never conceded more than 4 goals in maybe 3 games. But apparently people were conceding 5 goals plus every single game, and people were like, what am I playing? Am I playing an MLB baseball game? Am I playing basketball right now? No. You sucked at defending. You know what I'm saying? It was you. You were the one, because you didn't want to get used to your defensive AI not doing it for you, right? And dude, I loved it because Nick, I'm all about passing plays, man. When I was getting past people's defense, I'm like, yo, I feel fucking... Nick, I was losing 3-0 once, and I'm like, guys, honestly, he's destroying my defense, and he's just destroying me. His finishing, I'm not complaining about his finishing. He scored from good angles, but then I came back into the game like, like a 5-4, right? Because the finishing was consistent, it was fun to go back and forth against each other, you know, like who can out attack the other person, and it was awesome, man. It was the best. And I hate that they removed the driven finesse shots. Oh my god, I fucking hate that they removed that, man. Holy shit, that pisses me off.
Yeah, I feel that. It was consistent, man. That's the thing that I liked about it.
Yeah, if you got into a good angle, you were coming from the upside and you were cutting from the downside, and you got into a good angle, driven finesse, yeah, you deserve to score 100%. Goalie shouldn't save it. You didn't defend well enough. Nick, the balance that I always explain to people is this, man. If your defensive AI is overpowered, finishing needs to be the easiest thing in the world. If EA wants to keep defensive AI as it is right now, so be it. But your finishing, when I get 1v1, needs to be fucking overpowered, bro. Because that's the balance. You want to have a defensive AI, people need to focus on their defending. If their defending is good, sure be it. So be it. If defensive AI does a shit for them, whatever, right? But when you get 1v1 from good angles, you have to score them. You have to. You can't if you wanted to make your goalies a little bit more effective with the way that defending was in FIFA 18 pre-patch, and you wanted to make your finishing a little bit less consistent, so be it, because you had a lot of opportunities. But in this game, when you get into a 1v1, you really fucking broke that defense down, because defensive AI is effective, but it's still bullshit because it's still random anyways, right? But, you know.
Facts. All right, I'm on my way out.
All right, brother. It was a pleasure having you, man. Yeah. That was a great talk.
I'll shoot you in the next few weeks if I'm ever free, when I'm free again.
Yeah, bro. I would be down to do another podcast. Absolutely.
For sure, man. Thank you, dude, for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for being here, bro. Chat, let's get some GGs in the chat for my boy Nick. It was I think it was a great conversation that we had today.
Oh yeah.
Definitely gonna be posting that on the YouTube video later today. Today was a good day, man. That was a great podcast. Thank you so much for being here, bro. I appreciate it.
You getting back on the sticks anytime?
Ooh. I'm gonna try right now. I'm gonna try.
All right, dude. Be good, brother.
All right, man. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it.
Anytime. See you, dude.
See you later, man. GG's in the chat, boys. That was a great podcast, man. That was a great podcast.